On your left.
On my left. Got it. Don't say it. Don't you say
On
it.
your left.
Come on!
What's up, guys? It's Quinn.
It's Will.
It's Iconic Comic, and we are back with the On Your Left podcast. Easy there, killer. Episode 19. We were originally going to have Adam on this podcast, too, but...
We had a little technical difficulties.
So, in a good way, I would
Yeah.
say, pull that a little closer to you. Like the mic part. Yeah, there you go. I would say that we're no longer putting this channel together with duct tape and barbed wire.
Yeah.
I mean, slightly still, just because of the way the room's set up, we have to kind of do that with certain pieces of equipment. But we all have the same microphone now. We're all going to, like the podcast, we're not doing it off the Snowball. We're going to be using these mics for a lot of good stuff, for our reactions and everything. So I'm pretty pumped up. It looks so professional.
Right?
This is reminding me of the first time.
I feel professional.
It reminded me of the first time when Alex and I remember he came down. I bought all this stuff. I didn't really tell him about it. It's kind of like, it's like a surprise. Not really. I mean, I used the money from the channel to do it. But like, I remember I'm like, all right, we're a podcast, and we had done our first 2 podcasts on the Blue Snowball. And you can go back and listen. Sounds good. Blue Snowballs are great.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
And
Were they like $60 or something?
something like that. They're pretty cheap. And that thing's lasted 3 years. And it's fine still. And I was actually worried that it wasn't fine until I like listened to some post audio. Still sounds great.
Yeah.
It picked up all of us actually for the movie commentaries that we did.
Really?
So we uploaded our Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone commentary this week. And just for you guys out there wondering, so there's gonna be a little moment in the video where my sound sounds different. And that's because I just decided to cut off my mic because the Snowball was picking up most of us anyway. And because we were using 2 different audio softwares, one with the Blue Snowball and one with the microphones, the condenser mics, at some point they start to separate. So by the end of the video, I'm like 2 seconds ahead of you guys. Because the software, I think it's like the rate that they pick up sound is just slightly different.
But that's all gone now.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, for the next 2 movie commentaries that you get, which is Chamber of Secrets and Prison of Azkaban, which you already have recorded, that'll still be that way.
Yeah.
But after that, and for our future commentaries, if we do some new ones now, we'll all have the same microphone. We'll do it for podcasts, too. We'll do it for reactions. The Blue Snowball, I think it's good for gaming.
Yeah.
And it's for like a one-person thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or 1 person or 2 people. 3 people, it starts to really
It
spread
starts to
out.
stretch, yeah.
Because when we put it right in the middle of me and Alex, it worked because it was in the middle.
Yeah.
Now, when we do our reactions, it's like I'm like, I'm like yelling at people, and then you guys
You
are
guys
like,
like real quiet. Yeah.
yeah. But on the note of movie commentaries, we're going to put this poll out. It might already be out by the time you guys listen to this. What are we going to do next? Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? What do you think the fans are going to want us to do? The subscribers.
I feel like it's gonna go either way. I think it's gonna lean towards Lord of the Rings more. But the problem with that is that's a journey right there.
Yeah, well, so my thing is, if we do Lord of the Rings, I say we only do the trilogy. I don't want to do The Hobbit.
Yeah, I agree.
We can do that later, some other time. But I think because here's the thing. I want Adam, because Adam's never watched Lord of the Rings, I want him to see just the original Lord of the Rings and just sit with that for a while. Because if he goes and sees the original Lord of the Rings, like, that was awesome. And it's like, all right, awesome. Here's some ugly stuff. Do you want to watch the stuff that is decent, but not even close to as good as Lord of the Rings? And it's somehow newer? Like, I never understood. It's cool because they stopped using as many practical effects.
Yeah.
They started using more CGI in the newer ones. And the practical effects just look so good. Like the miniatures that they made of like Minas Tirith and stuff like that.
Oh, it's so good.
And
then just the battles in general, like there's so many.
Oh, dude.
That are just like top notch.
Well, that's the thing is like the first movie is so low key when it comes to like big epic stuff. The biggest epic thing you get is like, spoiler alert, like the Balrog and
the forest.
Yeah, kind of, but that's more of like 2 militias going at it.
Okay.
but you don't expect, because you just saw that, you don't expect what's coming in Two Towers, which is that the Battle of Helm's Deep at the end, which is massive, and it takes like 40 minutes, and I don't care.
No, it's amazing.
And then that doesn't prepare you at all for like the 3 battles we get in Return of the King. Like we get the Battle of Minas Tirith, we get the Battle of Mordor. Is there a third one? I swear I'm missing one. I swear there's something earlier in the movie. Well, no. The Isengard stuff, that happens in Two Towers.
Yes, yeah.
The Battle of Isengard, basically.
Or no, I thought... Well, about the tree.
Because remember, at the beginning of Return of the King, that's when it's already flooded and Merry and Pippin are chilling and eating food and shit. But I don't know. I'm actually going to say that I think they're going to vote Star Wars just because of Mandalorian and that kind of stuff out right now. Because Lord of the Rings, there's not like new Lord of the Rings shit right now. And Adam and I were talking about that earlier. If we're going to do Star Wars, do we do it in release order or do we do it in chronological timeline order?
Not chronological. Not chronological.
Really?
Time. Yeah, I don't want to do chronological time.
You don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Not really.
Really? I thought you would want to do that. See, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I'm torn. Again, I think if they choose Star Wars, we make them vote on which one we do. Because here's the thing. Because we got to watch Rogue One and Solo, too.
Yeah.
Those will feel really weird if we just watch those randomly.
If we did it like Rogue One, 4, 5, 6.
That's what I'm saying. So we do 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6. Or
wait, where does Solo come
1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5. Because Rogue One is like literally smack.
Yeah.
It's like right up against.
Well, because we get the whole Darth Vader scene at the end, a CGI Princess Leia,
Now Adam doesn't want to watch Solo, but I'm like, look, if we're gonna watch Rogue One and then the other 9, why would we leave just one movie out? We got, and trust me, I don't love Solo, but I don't think it's bad.
No, I don't think it's bad either.
I just think it was unnecessary. I didn't need it.
It's the forgotten child of the family.
And there's so much weird stuff in it where I'm like, I don't think they're ever gonna capitalize. Like the Maul stuff at the end.
Yeah,
I'm like, why did you put that in there? Because now I'm like, I mean, I get it. He's in Rebels and stuff like that. And it's setting up that because didn't he have the spider legs in the?
He had spider legs in Clone Wars,
right? But did he have that in the hologram?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, dude. I've literally only seen that movie one time, and that was in the theater. I didn't see it any more than that. I'm grabbing my drink. You keep talking.
But he did have his like weird cane lightsaber that he got from Rebels, I think. So,
I think he still had the dual blade.
No, he does get another dual blade. It's just a weird one.
Right.
It's just a weird one.
I'm not sure which one it was, but that part was stupid too.
Yeah.
Because he literally just, it's like, and just in case, because he did look different, because it wasn't Ray Park. They just picked somebody, I can't remember who did it, but it was CGI for sure. Mm-hmm. And he looked weird because it was CGI, but it was like, and just in case nobody knows who I am, like there was no reason to even light the lightsaber. For what? He wasn't battling about it. He was literally just lighting the lightsaber after he stood up into the frame.
Yeah.
It was like, just in case you didn't know, here's the last hint I'm going to give you. I'm Darth Maul.
We did get a lot of like his story though that was good. Like we got a whole bunch of like him.
Not Solo.
No.
But I'm just complaining about the Solo stuff. The Maul story stuff is amazing with him and his brother, and basically like how they after what happened in Phantom Menace, they both hated Palpatine and like basically how he treated him and just pushed him off to the side after like the. God, the prequels could have been so much better.
It is Ray Park that plays Darth Maul
in the Solo movie too.
Yeah.
Really?
Solo cast, yeah. Ray Park.
Well. But here's the thing: who did the voice for him? Because Ray Park doesn't do the voice. Was it Peter?
Sam Witwer.
Oh,
he's the same guy that does the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff in those, and then he does he plays he does the voice for the character in Starkiller in Force Unleashed.
Oh, that's right.
And he even looks like him too. Dude, he's a huge Star Wars nerd. He's in a bunch of like Star Wars trivia competitions you can watch on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He cleans up, and he does it in all the voices too.
Cool.
Which I feel like if I was in the competition, I'd be pissed. But like watching it from the outside, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But look up who did the voice of Darth Maul in Phantom Menace. I think it's like Peter. This is not going to be correct, but it's like Fenomenovich or something like that. It's like a really really weird last name, but I think I got that right.
I always forget Keira Knightley's in this movie.
very small role.
Yeah.
She doesn't even speak. Peter.
I'm not gonna try that.
Let me see it.
Serafinowicz.
But it didn't. I basically got it right. Hold on. Peter Serafinowicz. Yeah. I
didn't throw it.
Yeah, I got that right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely didn't say it right, but I was on the right train.
What else has he been in?
He looks familiar.
He was in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I didn't watch that show very much. I know I'm
I
about to
love
get a lot
that
of
show.
hate.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, he's the one who was going through the lineups.
Yeah,
with,
that's right.
John
Okay,
C. Reilly.
He's in Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, now I know he is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the prequels. I think story-wise, not writing, story-wise, great.
They're top notch.
Well,
Yeah.
because all these people complain about, like, I didn't want to see the politics or whatever. I'm like, how did wars start?
Right.
Because basically the prequels where it's like, because Star Wars is really original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the war.
Mm-hmm.
The war isn't real. I mean, you get the Clone Wars a little bit, but
This is the background to the war.
Yeah, this is like the little battle, the little like sparks that create the big war, like World War I or World War II. It's like this little sparks, boom, and then we get this galaxy-wide war.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem with the story of like trade federations and like these hostile planet takeovers and stuff like that. And then Palpatine is basically he's playing both sides because he wants this war to start. He wants to. He's playing the clone side. He's also playing. He's friends with the Separatists so he's with the clones and the Republic as the Chancellor. In the first one he was just a senator, but then he became Chancellor by the end of that movie.
Well, yeah, but he was also using the dictator powers because at the end of I think it was at the end of one.
The end of
Was it 1 or 2?
Well, actually, I think it was during 3 where Jar Jar made the announcement, like he voting like supreme powers to the Chancellor or something, like in these dire times. So basically, it was like we're making him a dictator, like we're making him an emperor.
Also, he didn't give up those powers once. They didn't need it anymore.
Right. And then he made like the Jedi fugitives basically. Like when he. God, that scene is really good when he's in the Senate and he's like, I have been scarred, like basically saying the Jedi did this to me, but talking about making the first galactic empire. And then Natalie Portman has a great line where it's like, so this is how democracy ends. Thunderous applause. I'm like, God, I got goosebumps just thinking about that again. And I feel like a lot of stuff is just because poor small decision making.
Yes.
It shouldn't have been droids.
No.
It should have been people. So it made... Because stormtroopers were people, even though they were just cannon fodder. Well, they weren't clones in the OG trilogy. There was a small group of clones, the 501st, that were still clones from the OG. But then basically they didn't want to use clones anymore because clones were too unpredictable sometimes. They could sometimes spin off. So they didn't want to use the Kamino clone base like the Boba Fett one or the Jango Fett one. They wanted to use... They still started to clone, but they were like they did like their own selective cloning, and then I think eventually it just became like they bred them from childhood. It's like like Finn FN 2187. But anyway, it should have been people, not droid. Roger. Because it was like it just felt like they were mowing through metal, literally. Like everyone, the Jedi were just slicing through. Like it's just like I have no emotional stake in this. If those are people. And the Jedi kind of have to make a choice, like, all right, are we gonna like straight up like slice through all these people? And it's like it's an emotional decision, and they have to do it. I mean, obviously, it's harder to show them slicing through a bunch of people, but you could show them like deflecting blasters back at them and killing them, which is what they did. And Luke did that. Like, Luke killed like 20 people in the opening of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
and I mean, he was slicing at them too. You didn't see him slice in half because they didn't have that technology back then to show that. But they would have been way better with people. Not droids.
Yeah. Well, also like in the prequels, they had great fight scenes.
Oh, amazing! Which makes you think like, why the heck did they not have good ones in the OG trilogy? Luke had some good ones.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're good fight scenes, but they're not as fancy choreographed. Luke Vader Throne Room.
Oh, that was great.
Return of the Jedi.
Fantastic.
That might be my favorite, just because it's the emotional weight of it. It's not the actual choreography. Even though the choreography is good, like it's the first saber throw we see.
Yeah,
Vader throws the saber up top, and Luke kind of has to dodge underneath it. And I mean, like, but it shows you the level that he has gained since Empire, because Luke gets a one lucky shot in on Vader, and he hits him in the shoulder. That's not gonna phase him. But that whole fight, Vader's messing with him.
Yeah,
he's one hand in the lightsaber, like pop, pop, like, and then he's throwing stuff at him with the Force, and throws him out the window. And he's one hand in this whole time, and he hits him in the shoulder. He's like, "All right, I'm messing with you." He
put you down.
He literally disarms him with like an easy little swipe, and then cuts his arm off or his hand off. So I'm like, see if you can tilt yours a little bit more. You're being picked up fine, but I just
which way?
Like, I just meant flatten it out more because it looked like it was starting to turn up a little bit. That's good. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
But that. So the droids don't like. Fight scenes do like. A lot of people give. I don't. You know the fight scene that I'm going to say I hate that you'll probably say what. In the prequels,
can I guess?
It's the one everybody loves, and I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. I think it's stupid.
I think I'm narrowing it down to two. I'll say that my second one first. Obi-Wan versus Anakin.
No, I love that one. Music's great. Now, does it go on for a little much when they're swinging on ropes and stuff? But I'll still watch the whole thing because it's like, okay, I'm emotionally invested in these two. I actually am, even though subpar acting by one of them. What's your other guess?
Hint. Darth Maul.
No, that's probably the best one.
Okay. Dooku?
Yoda and Dooku.
Okay.
I cannot. So I can't get on board with
Yoda with a lightsaber.
It looks so stupid to me. It's like, dude, Yoda should be the guy who doesn't need a lightsaber. He should be using the Force. Now, if he walked in there and he was just using the Force on everybody, now again, when it came out. And you saw Yoda walk in with the cane and see Dooku, and you're just like, everybody in the theater is probably like, holy shit, here comes Yoda. And he's just jumping around like a little frog. But like, he can do that.
But he has to walk with the cane.
But then do the stuff also in Revenge of the Sith against Palpatine, but dies 19 years later. And he needs Luke to carry him around his back. And he can't do anything. Like, did he just use all his energy up in those 2 times? But I don't know. That fight scene bothers the hell out of me because I feel like he should just be using the Force, which he used the lightsaber a little. The Palpatine Yoda one, I'm fine with. Even though he uses the lightsaber, he doesn't use it a lot.
He uses a lot of the Force.
It's a Force. Well, that's with those two.
That's all Force.
Even seeing Sidious with the lightsaber bothers me a little bit because he should be using mostly the Force. But again, they use it very slim. You barely see them use it. It's like. Because the beginning part is them kind of forcing each other back and forth in the conference room or whatever, and then Palpatine's about to leave, and he's like, if so, I can't remember the word, but it's like, why leave? And then he like pulls out the lightsaber, and Sidious pulls out his, and then you just see them kind of go at it when it's going up into the big Senate room, and you see them go at it for a little bit, but then they're just using the Force, lightning back and forth, throwing the things back and forth. Like, that's the stuff I want with those two. Anakin, Obi-Wan absolutely should be using mostly lightsabers.
Well, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, sorry. Since both of us didn't grow up during the original trilogy, I feel more at home during the prequels than I do in the original.
I will agree. I feel I was about to say more comfortable, but I don't know if that's the right word. I feel nostalgia about the prequels more than I do nostalgia about the original trilogy, because I saw the prequels kind of first. Like, I saw Phantom Menace before I saw the OG trilogy. Now, in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, I watched the original trilogy. Yeah. So, like, because my dad was like, hey, that little kid is Darth Vader. And I'm like, what? What's crazy, though, is, like, everybody kind of knew the story because of the books and whatever with what happened to Vader. So we were all waiting, like, it's like, all right, when's he gonna get melted by lava and stuff? Like they knew that before Revenge of the Sith came out. It was in books and stuff. Like, and like when's the fall of Anakin? When's like, and then they just kind of rush the shit out of that in the third movie. And the third one's the best. Revenge of the Sith is the best
one.
of the prequels, not the best of the Star Wars movies. I mean, I think it's the best acting that he does. I actually think it's good acting. It's not great acting, but it's good acting. Second one, yikes. Like, real yikes. But,
the best part's when he wasn't talking.
Yes. Now, you want to talk about picking a good, actor from an athletic standpoint. Oh, Hayden Christensen killed Anakin as just a Jedi. Like, the way he did, like, the swordsmanship, the Force, like, his just athleticism as an actor. And obviously Jedi aren't real, so he can't really jump 20 feet in the air. But, like, I believed him doing it.
Yeah. He was just really whiny.
Mace Windu doing it as Samuel L. Jackson was kind of... I didn't love Samuel L. Jackson.
You didn't? I thought it was pretty good.
I just felt like he treated... Now, again, it's partly the writing, but I just feel like there was a lot of... Like, obviously, there's jealousy.
Yeah.
Like, Mace Windu was jealous of Anakin. Like, this kid's coming in, he's going to be the savior, the chosen one. And, and every time I watch Revenge of the Sith, and Anakin comes to Mace Windu and tells him the truth about Palpatine, and then he's like, I'm coming with you. And Mace Windu's like, no, you stay here. I'm like, no,
why?
Just let him come with you, goddammit. Or, if he did stay, then I'm yelling at Anakin, I'm just, stay home, kid. Stay home. Stay home. You're going to be fine. They're going to kill, Mace Windu's going to kill Palpatine. Well, peace in the galaxy. There'll be no more Sith because they've already killed Dooku. Grievous is dead. All they needed to do was cut off the head of the snake. Eventually, obviously, problems are going to come out and whatever. But he is the Sith Lord of all Sith Lords during this long ass period. Man, his master was Plagueis, who was the Sith Lord of all Sith Lords. So, the rule of two is also kind of stupid.
It is.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like always two. There must be no more, no less. Like, well, there's definitely less when you kill one of them. Like, now, does that just mean master and apprentice? And they're like, there can still be other Sith around, but only one master and one apprentice with the Sith. He can't have like multiple apprentices. Yeah. Like, because in the Jedi, you can have like a couple Padawans under you. Like, especially like Yoda teaches all the younglings, when they're basically all his Padawans at that moment. Yeah. I guess you just can't do that in the Sith. I have no idea.
Well, if we go way, way back to like the Old Republic stuff, there was a ton of them.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. And I'm not sure. Like, it depends on the timeline, because before there were Sith, there was something else, and before there were Jedi, there was something else too. So the religions kind of grew from other stuff. But my biggest problem with Revenge of the Sith is just it literally goes with it, like, he turns dark in like 20 minutes, even less. Like, one of the best acting scenes that he does, no spoken words, is when Mace Windu tells him to stay, and he goes to the Jedi Council chamber. He's sitting there staring out the window, and him and Padme have that mind meld, that mind connection.
Oh, when they're looking out, out the windows.
Yes, and like Anakin's just like, he's just stewing inside, and then he's starting to cry. Like, he can sense that, like, he's like, no, like, I have to do something. Like, and I'm like, okay, that's great acting right there. That is great acting. And then, but then it's like, all right, I'll kill some kids, I guess. Like, I'm like, Jesus, dude, like, come on, you just, and then like how quick he turns on. Now I get it, like the drunken power of the Sith and the dark side, and he's just manipulated. But it's like, are you really manipulated that easily, dude? Yeah. That he just went. Because like the yellow eyes is stupid too. Yellow eyes, like, it looks like he's in a trance. Because then like when he's killing all those dudes on Mustafar, he's got the yellow eyes. But then like when he's like Padme, he just kind of goes, yeah. Oh, I'm good now. I'm like, and he's like, love can't save you, Padme. Only my new powers can do that. What new powers? What are you talking about? You haven't learned anything yet. What an idiot, dude. And it's like literally, and then. Don't even get me started when it's like he's doing this to, in his words, save Padme, right?
But yeah, he ends up killing her.
He's the one that chokes her. It's like, the only reason I'm turning dark so I can earn the power
to save you.
To bring people back from the dead or stop people from dying. But I got a little mad at you and choke you out. Like, why didn't he attack Obi-Wan? Why did he attack Padme? Because the reason he starts choking Padme is because he sees Obi-Wan at the top. It's like, like you brought him here.
To kill me or something like that.
Liar! Oh God, you brought him here to kill me. I'm like, oh my God.
And then Obi-Wan's kind of like nonchalant. He's like, "Let her go, Anakin."
Dude,
Let
like
her
he's sitting
go.
there, he's sitting there choking out Padme. I'd have been like, I would have force pushed Anakin and been like, dude, let's go. And that killed her.
Yeah.
Like he didn't choke her out. Like he
No.
choked a little bit. When do you learn how to do that?
Right?
He's just like, hold it,
Mhm.
hold it. But it's like, but what ensues? I agree that it's maybe a little elongated, the fight scene.
Yeah.
I, however, do feel all the emotion every time their lightsabers hit.
Yeah.
Like I really do. And now is there some stuff that's a little ridiculous? That's like that just looks like choreographed. Like when they do the one where they literally like go in front, behind the back like 10 times,
That one, yeah.
and they don't like and then get each other clash.
Mm-hmm.
But then followed by one of my favorite moments is when they
they're
force
forced-
push
Oh, that's
each other's
a good one.
hands, because we've never seen that before, where it's like it's clashing. It's like who's gonna win, and then they both go backwards. Anakin burning alive though, still pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's sad because
Still pretty powerful to this day.
well, also another scene would be when they're fighting in the hallway with the lava flowing over.
Yeah.
When they're trying not to die from the lava, but also trying to fight each other.
Right, and they're like they're each trying to like make a move, and then it's like because Anakin's still, even though he's like hiding from the lava, he's still trying to kill Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's like heartbreaking.
But back to the whole scene where Anakin's got no legs and arm.
It's a great shot to
Yeah.
only get the 3 like actual biological body parts, but you can leave the one.
And then he crawls
robot.
out with that one.
That's pretty cool.
It's such a powerful one because they're fighting as Master and Padawan, and then brother and brother. Like
It was always, I don't know. In a way, I felt like they were more father-son relationship.
really?
Well, it just seemed like Obi-Wan was so much older than Anakin.
Yeah.
I mean, he was definitely in his 20s when Anakin was like 9.
Uh huh.
So, I mean, maybe more like an uncle or.
Okay.
But I'm fine with the "you were my brother, Anakin.
Uh
I loved you," and then I hate you.
huh. Well, I always thought like if Qui-Gon lived, he would be more of the father figure for
Both
Anakin.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was more of a father figure for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
If Qui-Gon would have lived, none of this probably would have happened.
No.
Because
no,
there's
no,
no
no.
way he would have let like Anakin be with Palpatine and
Well,
any of that garbage.
Have you watched the channel's called Star Wars Theories?
I'm sure I have.
It's basically he just goes over every theory ever about Star Wars, and there's a theory about
All of
that.
them.
Yeah, all of them. And there's a theory that says like if Qui-Gon lived but Obi-Wan died, like the whole Darth Maul sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
he would. This sounds very very weird, but like when they're in the throne room with Palpatine, Qui-Gon, like Qui-Gon lives, like that whole scene where it's Mace Windu facing Palpatine and stuff.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan comes back and it's dark.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he pulls a Darth Maul, like where he survives actually.
Yeah.
Like he's the forgotten one,
Mhm.
and Anakin's the one that comes.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, it's all just that's more fan
It's-
fiction
yeah.
than theory, I guess. I'd be down for that, but I mean, as a fan fiction,
Mhm.
because I mean, Obi-Wan's one of the best characters
Yeah.
in Star Wars. Like went back and watched New Hope. God, that movie's so good.
It's
dude.
really good.
Because Lucas did such good things with I'm trying to think of the word, like setting little seeds up
Mhm.
just to get, because that's the thing, like one of my bigger problems with prequels is there's too much dialogue, too much exposition, sitting and talking for 20 minutes in a room. All right, let's go get up so we can go sit in another room and sit and talk and just feed the story through dialogue instead of feeding it through little tidbits and doing things.
Yeah.
So, for example, when Luke is on, he's on the farm and he's around the dinner table with the blue milk,
Mhm.
and he he just says something about, he goes like, you know, the R2 unit belonged to an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen just kind of look at each other like, oh shit. And it's like, I wonder if he's talking about old Ben Kenobi. And then like, you know, he's like, oh, no, none of that. And when he gets up, he's like, oh, but the line he says, no, Obi-Wan Kenobi died about the same time your father did. Great setup line, dude, because look, we can go back and forth all day about, you know, what happened until the cows come home.
Yeah.
Like, but that seems like it's setting up like that Lucas knew something at least about what the story would be, because, and then when he leaves, he goes, you know, Beru's like, you know, he's got too much of his father in him, and Uncle Owen's like, and that's what I'm afraid of. Did he know? Did they know? Like back then when they made the first movie that Anakin was, I think he might have known that Darth Vader was Luke's father at that point.
Yeah.
I don't, however, think that they knew that Luke and Leia would be sister and brother.
Yeah.
I mean, they kiss a little too much in the first two movies. Now, at the end of Empire, what does Yoda say? When Obi-Wan's like, that boy was our last hope.
No, there's another.
There's another. So they did know in Empire.
Yeah.
They knew something, because, or he could have been talking about Ezra. He could have been.
All right.
I mean, he could have.
Yeah.
Or Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Could have been talking about him or her. There's just those little seeds, and then when, dude, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about when you see Obi-Wan the first time, when he scares away the Sand People.
Yeah.
By the way, what noise does he make? He makes the noise of a.
Oh crap! Oh,
we just saw it.
The serpent. No,
Crate dragon.
Crate dragon. That's
Yeah.
it.
He
Yeah.
made a crate dragon sound. Now they, in the remaster version, they changed and he sounds ridiculous. He's like, woo-hoo-yee-haw. That's what he sounds like. He sounds like what did Christian Harloff say? He said he sounded like a NASCAR fan. Woo! Like it sounds ridiculous. Like, go back and listen to the different. You can go on YouTube and listen to all the different versions of the way they changed it. It sounds so much better than the first one. But when he's like talking about the R2 unit, he goes, yeah, he belonged to an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and just the look that Ben Kenobi gives, he just goes, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's a name I haven't heard in quite some time. And it's like, dude, I'm getting chills because it's like, it's all coming back. Like, not it's not like you've forgotten, but it was kind of like Obi-Wan was like, he was basically like, I've been waiting for this day for a while. Like, I've been waiting for this. Because he's been, the past 19 years, he's been just watching over Luke. And obviously he's been talking to him because they know each other. Ben Kenobi. Like, you know,
obviously,
like old Ben or whatever. And he's like, you know, oh, you know him? Of course I know him. It's me. Like, and then just the little details where it's like stuff like, God, it's getting me. I'm getting goosebumps. Like when Leia's message says General Kenobi. General Kenobi. And then says, you served my father well in the Clone Wars. Like, just the little setups back in 1977. Like, we didn't know what the Clone Wars was.
No.
We didn't know what are clones? What does that even mean? And then he's talking about, like, you know, Anakin, we served side by side in the Clone Wars. Anakin was the best star pilot in the galaxy or whatever. Dude.
Well,
and then the prequels just go all over all that.
And then
great setup.
And then the sequels go.
Yeah, basically.
Death.
Like, well, not Force Awakens.
No, that was good.
It's like, hey, do you want a movie or 3 movies where we kill off your 3 favorite Star Wars character, one in each one? We're going to kill off Han, we're going to kill off Luke, and then we're going to kill off Leia. Now, they didn't have any choice with Leia.
No.
But God, to this day, I still don't think they should have killed Luke.
No, I don't think they should. Because this was basically his story.
Well, the Skywalker saga, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, technically, Kylo's the Skywalker.
Yeah, but...
I would have definitely took the name Skywalker than Solo.
Yeah. But I feel like we didn't get a lot of, like, resolve out of the sequels.
Well, not just that, we didn't get a lot of resolve, but we also... I don't know, man, like...
Backstory?
I feel like... Well, no, we got a lot of good setup. Force Awakens, as much as it was a and a lot of people, again, I think this Christian Harloff said it, people say JJ copied off A New Hope. I think he copied off all three.
Yeah.
It was kind of the amalgamation of the best of the original trilogy in New Hope, in Force Awakens. But he also set up a lot of seeds for storylines.
Yeah.
He set up stuff for like the Knights of Ren, Rey's parents, who's Snoke, and then the next movie just kind of went, fuck all that shit. Like, Rey's parents are nobody. Snoke's nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, okay, well, the Knights of Ren, nobody. They're like, everybody's nobody. And, and I'm not saying everybody has to be, like, super special. Like, Rey's parents were Obi-Wan and, what was it, Sabine or Satine? Which one was that the one that Obi-Wan got with in the comics and the books and stuff? But it's like, I mean, that would have been cool, but I mean, I don't need that. But it's like, so, but I guess, but then, because Last Jedi didn't, and I'm not saying Last Jedi is a bad movie. I think it's a good Rian Johnson movie, not a great Star Wars movie.
Correct, yeah.
It felt like more of an episode of Battlestar Galactica. I mean, it took place over like 2 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took place over like 2 days, and the plot was a little weird. Like, and I'm not saying I don't buy it, but again, it felt like an episode of like Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica, where it's like we can stay just out of range of them, and they can't. Like, how are they faster than the Star Destroyers? I don't understand that at all.
Or
like,
the Dreadnought. Or no, I mean that's in the that's in.
Why can't they send out? Why couldn't they send out TIE fighters?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Was there a reason why they couldn't send out TIE fighters to go blow them up?
No idea.
Because there was a space battle with TIE fighters. Why didn't they send out more? Did they blow them all up?
But I think that Last Jedi has a great opening though. With
the Last Jedi opening is great.
With Poe in his X-Wing making that like break.
Oh, dude, I was hype city after the first 10 minutes. I was like, dude. And then now, again, we can have an argument about this too. Just little details like, okay, how did the bombs fall onto the ship in space? Like, there's no gravity. Now, you could say that maybe that when they release, they get thrusted that way. Or maybe it's because they drop when they're in gravity in the ship.
Yeah.
It's got a gravity, like, field. So when they drop, they're already going that way. And in space, basically, if there's no gravity, whatever way you're going,
if you just get pushed, you just keep
you're going to keep going that way unless something bumps you in the other direction. So I can buy that. You know what? I'm buying that. But then comes the big poop moment that I hate.
Which one?
I hate. And because you could have done this a different way. To this day, when you watch Force Awakens, I still get goosebumps. Why didn't you put the thing on yours since you did?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I still get goosebumps to this day when the very last scene of The Force Awakens happens. When Rey goes to, what is the name of the planet that Luke is on? Not important.
Yeah.
Goes to that planet. Does that, like, the music is just building and just it's certain light, and then it's starting to get a little more epic and mysterious. And then they get to the hill and you see the hooded Luke Skywalker. And I remember the first time I saw that, I'm like, that's fucking Luke. Holy shit. And just they play Luke's theme, Binary Sunset, the Force theme, and he turns over the shoulder and you see him take the hood off with the freaking robot hand. And then Rey just gets the lightsaber out and holds it out. She's like kind of getting emotional. And the look on Luke's face in JJ's version, in Force Awakens, the look on Luke's face is just like, like he's like he's a moment, like, again, like Obi-Wan, like I've been kind of waiting for this moment, but I'm getting kind of emotional about it, and something had happened, and I guarantee, and dude, now they kind of explain it because apparently Luke had cut himself off from the Force, right?
Yeah,
which is why
he's the great Jedi.
That's why he didn't know about Han. Because that bothered me at first. He's like, "Where's Han?" I'm like, "How do you not know?"
Yeah,
like, you can feel that shit. But he said he cut himself off from the Force because he just wanted it all out.
But then cut to Last Jedi, where
dude, and then hands it to him, and he's holding it in his hands, and then just
throws it over his shoulder.
I'm like, God damn it! And then Rian Johnson had the audacity to say, and I like Rian Johnson. He's made really good movies.
Well, I'm not familiar with
Knives Out.
Made. Oh, he did. He made that.
Knives Out. He did. Was it? God damn it! What was the other one he did? That's super.
Knives Out's really good.
It's gonna really bother me. It's like a fuck. Hold on, I got this. It's gonna really bother me once I see the name of it. Looper. Bruce Willis.
Okay. Okay.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Brick's another good one that he did. Apparently, he was kind of a producer, writer, or something on Rogue One too. But he's a really smart guy. But he had the audacity to say, "I didn't put the over the shoulder thing." He's like, "That wasn't supposed to be for laughs." I'm like, "Bullshit! Fuck off! You totally did that for jokes." Like, to me, it felt like when I watched Last Jedi, it feels like they were trying to go for MCU humor. And it just doesn't work in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. MCU humor doesn't really work in the Star Wars universe. And I'm like, imagine same outcome, but imagine instead of the throw over the shoulder, he just drops it at his feet.
That would have been way better.
This throw to the shoulder and then ghost Rey and walk past her and basically like shoulder check her on the way out and then lock himself in his hut. I'm like, dude, if he would have dropped it at his feet and then just went like nose to nose with Rey and was just like, no, I'm done, and then walks away, dude. I'm getting chills now because it's like, because then you go, oh, holy, what happened? Holy shit, what happened to Luke? This is just like, because we're waiting for this moment, and then over the shoulder, and I'm like, and I'll be honest, the first time I watched it, I was kind of faking myself into liking it, like tricking myself, like because I laughed, but deep inside I was like, what the fuck was that? That was fucking terrible. And then, damn it, and the ending's cool. The ending's cool when he's force projecting, cool as shit. Because I mean, he's the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy right now. I wanted to see Luke fuck some people up though. Yeah, I wanted Luke to have a Vader moment from Rogue One. We've never seen other than the freaking thing on the sand. What do they call it? The sand skiff or whatever on Jabba's palace or near the Sarlacc pit when he's fucking everybody up. That's like the only time we've really seen him like mess up just a ton of fools and murk them. But I wanted to see him like Luke bringing down Star Destroyers with his bare hands, like stuff like that. And here's the deal. As much as Last Jedi didn't accomplish much and kind of threw away a lot of stuff that JJ set up, which is why it felt so rushed and forced in the last movie, because he kind of had it. It's like, all right, and we got to make, okay, so Rey's parents are related to Palpatine. Yeah. Like Rey's dad was like Palpatine's son, right? Something like that, because she was his granddaughter. Yeah. And, but is he really his granddaughter? Or is it like she's the granddaughter of a clone of Palpatine? I don't know. How many Palpatines are there? Yeah. How many Snokes are there? That's the other thing. Like, there's like 30 Snokes in little vials. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, I am Snoke. I'm like, Jesus. So Snoke was just bullshit. Yeah. Even though and I don't think that's what JJ had in mind.
No, he did not.
So he just had to kind of rush some stuff together. And, and then I guess Finn's force sensitive now at the end. I'm like, why does everybody have to be force sensitive? And then and then the other girl that he met, didn't she say she was like force sensitive too? Like, I feel things or whatever.
Well, I'm not sure.
There was like 9 people by the end of the movie force sensitive. And I'm like, I get it. Back in the OG, like the prequel days, there was a lot more Jedi and stuff. We had a ton of people that were force sensitive. There was a whole academy. But goddamn, is everybody force sensitive? Shit. Like, is Poe force sensitive? Yeah. I mean, like, maybe that's why he can do all the fighter pilot shit so well. Now, to go back to Force Awakens, how would you have felt? Because I would have shit myself. Because this is like a theory that a lot of people had that was going to happen but didn't. I'm fine with the moment as is, and it's still a badass moment. Forest scene.
Forest scene?
At the end of Force Awakens in the snow. Kylo and Finn going at it. And I actually think that was probably one of the best lightsaber battles in the whole... I mean, we actually didn't get a lot of lightsaber.
There's in not Force Awakens? Not really.
No. In the trilogy. We didn't get one lightsaber battle in Last Jedi.
Yeah, we did.
No.
The throne.
2 lightsabers never touch each other. They fight other people. We don't get a lightsaber battle in that movie. And I don't count the Kylo Luke projection as a lightsaber battle because they don't obviously doesn't touch him. He doesn't touch him at all.
We get one in Rise of Skywalker.
Do we get a couple? How many do we get?
We get one with Rey and Kylo on
the ship.
Yeah.
That's really it because Kylo messes up the Knights of Ren with a lightsaber and they don't have a lightsaber, and then Rey just uses the lightsabers to push the lightning back on Palpatine. So we get 2 lightsaber battles in the whole damn thing. Really? We'll call it 3 because there was 2 in the Force. There was Finn and Kylo and Rey and Kylo. So I'll give them 2. But anyway, Finn and Kylo going at it, and I actually like the way they did that because, again, just like Vader and Empire, Kylo's toying around with him a little bit.
Yeah.
But Finn isn't horrific because they set up in that movie that stormtroopers now have hand-to-hand combat training.
Yeah.
Because they have, like, the big whippy things.
Things.
So, obviously, Finn can hold a little bit of his own, but not against Kylo.
No.
So, Kylo's kind of messing around, and then Finn gets that, again, he got a little shot in. He, like, hit him in the shoulder or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, then Kylo's like, fuck this. And, like, punches him in the face.
Pushes him against the tree and then turns his lightsaber into him.
But then he punches him in the face first and slices up his whole back, and he's just easily. And that's the thing is, again, Christian Harloff, he used to be on Collider. Now he's a schmoes now. One of the schmoes now movie reviewers. Big Star Wars guy. But he was like, in Anakin's lightsaber, which is the one that they had there, is way stronger than Kylo's fucking lightsaber. It is way more powerful.
We also didn't get the fact that Kylo's lightsaber is powerful. I'm putting up quotation marks. Powerful because he cracked it.
It was a cracked, corrupted kyber crystal.
And
or
he
whatever.
needs the 2 exhaust ports on the side.
But again, I remember when that came out, like in the trailer. And there was it was like 50-50. Like some people loved it, but some people hated it. I'm like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's smart.
It does look awesome, but how is it more powerful than a standard lightsaber?
It's not more powerful. No. Like, it's not.
So then what's the point of...
It's stronger than some, but Anakin's is way more stronger than... Like, just the way Anakin built it is way better. Like, there's a lot of lore behind Anakin's lightsaber and stuff. It is one of the strongest lightsabers in the galaxy. But with Kylo, it's like... he, like... If it was Anakin versus Kylo, oh my god, Anakin would have murked him.
Yeah.
Murked him. But he and it's honestly the hilt is smart. Keeps your hand from being. How many hands have we seen getting cut off in the freaking Star Wars universe? Yeah. Oh, you're telling me I'm going to put a guard there so that I can trap your lightsaber into it? Smart, right? Smart. I don't like.
It's a cool design.
It's basically a claymore lightsaber, is what I would call it, because it's
long,
big, and it's not like it's just a sword. So slices up his whole back. Finn's messed up. Thank God they had they put him in like a back to bath.
Yeah,
it was like a version of a back to tank, but it was like bags.
It was a gel or something like that.
It's the same thing, but it was basically where you were just laying. Yeah, and not like Luke and Empire where he's floating in it. So he's fucked up, and then. Remember, he disarms him, and the saber is flying, sticks in the snow, slices up Finn's back, and then reaches to force pull Anakin's saber to him because he wants it. And it goes past his face, and it goes to Rey. Badass fucking moment, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would have shit myself. Kylo's going for it, goes past his face, and Luke is fucking standing there in the goddamn snow in the dark with the hood up and the beard, and he's just holding his OG light. I mean, it's his dad's lightsaber, but the first one that he had, and he just pulls it back, and then not like the way Rey does it, because I mean, I understand the way that Rey did it because she never opened a lightsaber, so she was a little timid about it. But he one of those side where he throws, kind of like how Kylo did in the trailer, which was never in the movie. Yeah, but he does it like that, where he throws it to the side, like he's throwing it out, and he just like picks up Kylo with the Force and pulls him to him, and turns the saber off.
Okay,
and I don't know what the lines would be, but something like, "I'm sorry, Ben," and then Kylo Force pushes him back, and it's like. It's too late for sorry. You've already made too many mistakes, and then they fight it out, and then Luke has a PTSD moment where he doesn't want to finish him, and Kylo takes advantage of that and hurts Luke somehow, and then Rey picks up. Then Rey goes after Kylo, and we have basically the same thing happen where Rey fucks up Kylo, and the only reason Luke doesn't fuck up Kylo is because of his PTSD of basically turning him, which again set that up there, and then because if Luke was on 100%, he'd fuck Kylo up.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't even be close. He could probably pick him up and use the Force to pull him apart.
Oh,
If he
absolutely.
wanted to. Imagine that scene, though.
It'd be really cool.
Dude! And then it's like, now it kind of, I mean, to be fair, if that happened, it kind of gets rid of the entire point of that whole movie where we're looking for the map of Luke Skywalker.
And then Luke just pops up out of nowhere.
But I wouldn't have cared. If I was watching, I wouldn't have cared. I'm sorry. I know we've been talking about, but you got to stick with the plot. Wouldn't have cared. Would not have cared.
Well, also another dumb plot is the whole in Rise of Skywalker is the whole holocron map thing.
Yeah, why the fuck? Like, how did they make that? Like, because it lines up with like to find the holocron or whatever, to find the Sith planet.
Mm-hmm.
There was this like dagger.
Yeah.
That was like, it looked like it was thousands of years old, but it
And then
lines up with the Death
perfect.
Star that was built 30 years ago.
What?
The new Death Star too, not the OG.
Yeah.
That was the one that crashed near Endor.
Uh-huh.
Which, where was Endor? I mean, it was got to be around there somewhere, like near that.
Well, because that was a moon of Endor.
Right.
So
the Force. It was the Force moon of Endor. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, like it's just like they were trying to make it like too Indiana Jonesy, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, so did Palpatine have this? So what they're trying to say is, because Palpatine's the mastermind. I mean, he has so many good plans. You're trying to tell me that he had this planned out that long ago? Like, okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to have a granddaughter. I mean, maybe you can use the Force to see the future. I mean, I'm sure you have visions like Rey does, but to pinpoint the shit like that, it's like, all right, and in case Vader turns on me, I'm going to be, I already got it set up where I'm going to have clones of myself, and I'm going to, I'm going to like put these holocrons, like the Wayfinder is the Sith Wayfinder, right? It's not a holocron, it's a Sith Wayfinder.
Yeah.
They look a little bit like the holocrons, though. I'm going to put the Sith Wayfinder in the throne room of the Death Star, and I'm going to leave a dagger somewhere that you can find, like a treasure hunt. Like, this is way too convoluted, man. Like, we live in a galaxy where there's like trackers and starships and light speed, and then all of a sudden it's like we're going to start using daggers. Why is there even a dagger in the Star Wars universe? Yeah. There's blasters and lightsabers and shit. Like, I've never seen a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever seen swords or knives? Maybe. Well, I guess the Gamorrean guards kind of have swords and axes and stuff.
Somewhat,
but they're like.
But they have
powered.
like they have a lightsaber.
They're powered
thing,
to some extent. But no, this is just a dagger. It's like, it honestly felt like a Skyrim quest. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. It just felt like it didn't feel like Star Wars. Mm-mm. I mean, it felt like Star Wars a little. You know what I'm glad that they did? They actually said the word Sith in Rise of Skywalker, because we hadn't heard the word Sith since prequels.
That's right. Yeah.
The Sith wasn't really a thing in the original trilogy. It was dark side, light side.
Yeah.
It was keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really get into the religion of stuff, because when they talk about your that old religion or whatever that you used to follow when they talking to Vader or whatever, but you never actually heard them say Sith. Mm-hmm. That stuff didn't come up really till the books and stuff started coming out, and then you get it with the prequels. But I'm glad they brought it back.
Yeah.
And again, the scene though, again, it's like what? Again, this might be just the fan in me making a script in my head. But when all the Jedi are talking to Rey, cool idea.
Very cool.
Why couldn't they just show up as Force ghosts?
Yeah.
And if Force ghosts can make lightning come from the sky and light a tree on fire like Yoda,
and
how
can
could they
also
not have
use the Force and hold objects?
Could you fucking imagine if fucking Hayden Christensen was standing there, I can't remember his name.
What are you talking about?
Obi-Wan.
Ewan
McGregor. Yeah, sorry. Ewan McGregor standing there. Samuel L. Jackson. You get somebody playing it. You get the first version of Ahsoka, still played by Rosario Dawson, and then she comes back in The Mandalorian. You just get all the OG Yoda standing there. Qui-Gon. Yes. Bring Liam Neeson back. I mean, this is a lot of money to get all these actors for one scene. I agree. The logistics of this is not very great, but find a real version of Ezra. Find a real version of what's Ezra's teacher? God, why can't I remember his name? It's played by Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh my God.
It starts with
Kanan.
Kanan. Yeah, Kanan.
Yeah.
He was one of the voices too. he was one of the voices. He said, like, the Force will guide you, Rey, or something like that. Dude, just, damn. That would have been fucking awesome. And then they all help her
fight. It would have been so much better if they all just showed up.
But I get why. I understand why. I get it. And, like, why didn't, at the end when you see Luke and Leia's Force Ghosts, that's a good ending.
Yeah, that's a very good ending. Yeah.
Where the fuck was Kylo? Or Ben? If fucking Darth Vader can be fine and redeem himself, and then he's a Force Ghost at the end with Obi-Wan and Yoda,
why can't he?
Because, like, I would have... And them falling in love was really
stupid. That was really bad.
It was forced
I didn't like
shit.
that. I don't like that.
That was very forced. Like, I didn't feel that connection at all.
No. Well, I think it was more of, like, 8 and 9. Like, their storytelling between that. Like, it wasn't really good.
Well, I mean, I think Ryan set it up almost... I mean, not well, but he did set it up so much that you couldn't ignore it in 9. Because the whole stuff of them communicating through the Force. And which actually, I will say, good
it's
setup.
It's kind of
cool. Well, good setup for... see, I don't know. It's a good setup for 9 with the stuff that him and Rey do with, like, when she puts the saber behind her head and Kylo that was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
Because apparently it can affect. But if they can do that, why doesn't Luke affect the physical world when he did it? Because remember, they were affecting the physical. Remember when, like, they were communicating through the Force, and, like, Kylo had the rain on his hand from the island, and obviously they can pass a fucking lightsaber through like that. Why can't Luke affect? Because he didn't affect the world that was there. Like, remember, like, the subtleness. It's a cool camera trick and stuff, but when he slid on the ground at Crate, it didn't make the red. It didn't move the sand. It didn't do anything like that. But I'm like, but if they did it, why can't Luke do it?
Yeah,
maybe he didn't want to do it. Fine. But if that fucking movie would have ended with Luke doing that, see you around, kid.
That'd be good.
Dropping, and then Luke's fine. All right, let's go pick up Luke, and let's go do this thing.
Done.
I'm so hyped for 9. But you end with Luke dying.
Yeah.
The lightsaber's cracked in half. No resolution to any story points. I have no idea where 9's going. It's like, okay.
Well,
cool.
I feel like JJ was also, like, backed into a corner for 9. Like,
I agree. JJ should have done all 3.
Yeah.
I mean, but with like, fuck. If even if 9 would have, even if Rian Johnson did 9, they ended it the same way. Open goddamn episode 9 with a time jump. And I know they kind of did, but I'm talking. I want a 3-4 year time jump. Kylo's been searching for Rey. Rey's been in hiding, but training other Jedi. She's been looking for just the way like Luke went out in between. You don't see this in the movies, but Luke went out in between New Hope and Empire and was finding Jedi temples and relics and stuff, and was learning about it and stuff. I would love that shit. And then, like, she's got a little group of Padawans she's teaching, and Rey's like super badass right now. But Kylo's also been training, but reveal that he's been training with Palpatine.
Yeah.
That he found him and was training with. Don't make it this thing where it's this. It just felt so forced. No pun intended. But it felt forced. It was like, God, I'm sorry. There's great moments. That's the thing. The sequel trilogy is mostly, other than Force Awakens. I think Force Awakens is pretty much good all the way through. I really don't have many problems with that.
No, I don't.
Even though there's fan service, even though it's kind of like Alex always called it a new hope for a new generation, which I agree with, and I think that's fine.
Well, I feel like it was the most thought of movie out of the 3.
Right. And here's the thing, new hope for a new generation. You could say that, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, Luke didn't do all the shit that Rey did in the first movie, and I know they call her Mary Sue or whatever, that she's so good at everything. I mean, I get it. I can see the complaints, but, like, they introduced so many different new characters. Like, Poe is the one that destroys the new Death Star. I think it was just the main stuff. Like, I don't think they needed a new Death Star.
No.
But I get it. New hope for a new generation. 8 and 9 are full of cool moments.
Not a cool movie.
Not a cool movie as a whole. Yeah. Just kind of like the prequels, were a lot of cool moments surrounded by a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the moment when you all right there?
Yeah.
The moment when God damn, why can't I remember her name? Shit, I know the actress's name, but I can't remember.
Who?
Holdo.
Holdo.
In Last Jedi, the moment where she fucking light speeds through
the
the whole fleet.
Oh, that was a great moment.
And it goes silent.
Yeah.
And then it comes back on.
Fantastic.
One of the best moments in all of
Yeah.
Star Wars. I'm not even kidding. That's top 10 Star Wars moments, action moments of all time. And, you got plenty of moments like that in that movie and Rise of Skywalker, but it just felt far and few in between and not connected.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like once Last Jedi started, it just felt like a big disconnect with
it.
Everything.
Was, yeah.
It felt like they were trying to force certain things, trying to make certain people certain characters. I'm not a huge fan of Rose.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
I mean, she's fine, but like the whole love story with her and Finn, and the casino planet, puke. You could have cut that whole garbage ass scene out and just had them find the smuggler and go to the ship. Because I like Benicio del Toro, and I like the whole smuggle onto the ship thing. That part was cool.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything.
And then Maz Kanata was a hologram in the fucking movie.
Well, also, like, what happened with the hacker guy? Or the girl that we saw in the casino, like, saw them go away. Like,
I mean, he's the real guy. But Benicio del Toro could do the same thing, basically.
Oh, yeah.
But he probably wouldn't have he double crossed him when the other guy wouldn't. And I get it. The whole movie was about double cross and like a war. You can play both sides. You know what I mean? Because even and he even hints at his own double cross, where like he's like, "Who owned this ship before?" I guess like they were working for the good guys, like because it was like showing like an X-wing or something.
Yeah, and then the bad guys too.
And the bad guys too. Like it's like because war is about money or whatever. And it's like, oh, how this fucking ham-fisted like sentiment that they keep going for, like, and then I wish I could they're at the casino thing, and it's like this planet's just like the way the people that are on this planet. It's like I wish I could just tear this whole place down, or whatever Rose says. I'm like, what are with these ham-fisted sentiments that we're going for right now? Where's the story? It's bullshit. There's no story, and like, goddamn, if you're gonna go that way with the stuff that we saw in Last Jedi, and then the stuff we started to see in Rise of Skywalker, dude, if they would have pulled the trigger and made Rey dark, holy shit. It would have been one of the best turns in the history of film. Like, and I'm not saying make her dark and then pussy around like, oh, she's dark for a second. She has a weird scene where she kills somebody.
No, make her dark and
then end the trilogy on her dark, and you're like, holy shit. Or make her go dark, Kylo go light, Kylo has to kill Rey.
Yeah.
Dude, like, do something crazy, because it felt safe. Rise of Skywalker felt safe. They didn't make a lot of risks.
Yeah.
And you could say, oh, bringing back Palpatine's risk. Not really.
No.
When you fucking dick around with the way you did bring him back, it's like, oh, they're all clones, and, you can make a bunch of Palpatines, and who are all the people in the arena? Remember at the end? There's like a bunch of people in there. Were they all Palpatines, or were they all Snokes? Like,
we don't know. Like,
were they just all old Sith Lords or whatever?
Well, it's full of bullshit, so.
I'm like, take risks.
Yeah.
No, don't just take all risks. You have to play it safe sometimes. You're making a movie for a lot of money.
They play too safe.
Yes. It's like Marvel has we always go back to Marvel. Marvel has the perfect formula. They take plenty of risks. Like, dude, like making Thanos he's the main character of Infinity War. The Avengers are basically side characters. And like Cap gets like 3 words in that movie in Infinity War. He gets more to do in Endgame, but those are risks. When you have some of your most popular characters not say a lot, when you kill off half of your most popular characters, you kill off Spider-Man, you kill off Black Widow, obviously they're coming back, but to kill them off and then have a whole movie where they're basically not in it and have to rely on your OG guys, and you kill Thanos in the first 5 minutes of Endgame, and again, make him the main character in the first movie, where I bet you him and Robert Downey Jr. probably get the most screen time in that movie.
Yeah.
Thanos and Iron Man. And then the way it Cap with Mjolnir, the time travel stuff, those are fantastic. You can even go further back. Making S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra, big risk. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. was always the safe home for the superheroes throughout the movies, and all of a sudden, they're Nazis. They're Nazis. Big risk. Big risk. But they also play it safe where they need to and where they should. Like certain way they play it safe. I don't even like the word playing it safe, because there's a big gray area. There's a bad connotation about playing it safe. I think they played it smart. So like the characters in the movies, in the Marvel movies, from Iron Man to Endgame, the Cap that I see in Endgame feels exactly like the same Cap from the first movie. I know it's the same guy, but I also see his progression.
Yeah.
But I would still believe he's the guy from Brooklyn. He's not. He doesn't seem like a completely shifted character like Batman did in Justice League. The Batman in Justice League and the Batman in BVS. Oh my God, so different.
Night and day.
And you can say, "Oh, it's because you felt bad about Superman dying." It's like, okay, that doesn't give any excuse for Batman to start making jokes in Justice League, and then like when Superman shows up, he goes, "Oh, it's Superman," and then when they see you, goes, "Well, I know it's because you don't like me." And then what did he say? "I don't not like you." Oh God. Like that's a major 180 of character.
Yeah.
Marvel does it slowly. Like you have Cap in the first movie and Cap in the Avengers are basically the same person. But you start in Cap in the Avengers because he's the Boy Scout. He's the guy that follows directions. But you start planting seeds of doubt in the authority that he's always followed his whole life. When he goes and finds the guns that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s making with the weapons, like, S.H.I.E.L.D. wants to use the Tesseract to make weapons. Sorry, computer was being a little slow. And, he's like pissed at Fury for lying to him and all this other shit. And he doesn't trust his own teammates. He's starting to get that distrust. Okay, but they work together. The battle's won. All right, he's got that trust back. Winter Soldier, the place that he has served, S.H.I.E.L.D., since he's been reawoken, and it's that S.H.I.E.L.D. is the thing that Peggy Carter, his eventual wife, started with Howard Stark and with the Colonel Phillips. They started S.H.I.E.L.D. together. And then fucking... It's Hydra.
Hydra, yeah.
His worst enemy. How can he trust authority anymore? And then Ultron, Tony creates Ultron. He can't even trust his own team now. Yeah. And then Tony goes and tries to do it again with Vision. Now that worked out. But when Cap shows up, he's pissed. Yeah. When he sees them making Vision, he's like, "I'm going to say this once." Like, remember that when he walks, he's like, "I'm going to say this once." And Tony's like, "How about nonce? Shut it down." And they have that kind of pre-Civil War fight. Yeah. And then it all makes sense in Civil War when Steve's like, when the government shows up and is like, "Hey, you got to follow. You can only do stuff when we say it." Steve's like, "Fuck that." Yeah. No, I did that before, and it was Hydra. What is the line is so good when he's like, these committees are run by people with agendas, and agendas change. Like, what if they send us someplace we don't want to go? What if they send us to someplace or what if we need to go to someplace and they don't let us? Yeah. The Avengers were supposed to be different than S.H.I.E.L.D. And he thought he made it that way, and he did. Casualties are going to happen in war. For God's sake, S.H.I.E.L.D. was going to nuke New York in the first movie. They were going to nuke it. Yeah. But it's like, the Hulk accidentally crushed a couple people with a building while stopping the Earth from being taken over by Thanos. Collateral damage can happen. Yeah. People die. That doesn't mean you stop fighting. And then we get it in Endgame. He's just a shut-in at that point because, one, he feels bad because he did sort of lie to Tony. He didn't lie. Like, he kept it from him. Yeah. So he did not know Bucky was the one that killed his parents, but he knew that Hydra killed his parents. Because he saw that in Winter Soldier and like the accidents will happen, saw the death of the Starks or whatever, but he didn't know Bucky did it. And that's why he said, "I didn't know it was him." Like, but did you know? Yes. So he felt bad about that. He's torn. And then in Endgame, when you see them squash that beef, and Cap is like Cap again. He's running the show. It's like that's the same good. Cap from 1942 or whenever. But he is a grown, different person emotionally, mentally. He's stronger in all those different ways. And then you can almost reverse that whole cycle for Thor. Yeah. Yeah, you could. I mean, Thor started off at the top of his game. And by the end of it, he's still not back to normal. No, because we see him go off with the Guardians. He's trying to find himself again. Because, he let everybody down. It's going to be weird if they... I mean, the Guardians got to be in Thor 4, right? Because Guardians 3 is not supposed to come out before then. We have to see that. So, I mean, we got to see him, at least a cameo or something like that. Like, we'll drop you off in Asgard, Thor. Like, thanks for helping us. And then you maybe go back and see the adventures with them in Guardians 3. Maybe, yeah. But, dude, I think Thor's going to lead the Avengers. When he gets all his PTSD taken care of, dude, whenever, because it's going to happen, he's not going to be fat for the rest of the Avengers. I mean, he's signed on for a couple more. when he comes out shredded again with fucking I know it's Stormbreaker. I love calling it Ultimate Mjolnir. In the comics, a lot of times they called it Ultimate Mjolnir. The axe and the hammer on one side.
Yeah.
Dude, when he comes out just ready to fuck people up. Because, God, like him in Infinity War is the strongest Thor we've ever seen. At the end.
When he comes up,
he could have taken out that whole battlefield by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He was being nice, like, and he could have killed Thanos too.
Oh, absolutely,
he could have
easily
ended it. I mean, even if he didn't aim for the head, if he just pushed that shit in all the way to his heart, like he had. But
he wanted.
Again, here's the thing. Go ahead.
He was sort of arrogant during it.
Absolutely.
He wanted to hear Thanos.
Yes. Because that went back to when he had made a lot of progress, but he had kind of reverted back to Thor 1.
Yeah.
The arrogant not child, but arrogant warmonger who he wanted to milk the moment.
Yeah.
He wanted to hear Thanos, and he wanted to give his little victory speech. Like, I told you, you die for that. And I don't necessarily, I do blame him. I also blame Star-Lord too.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily, I think he reverted back to that because, I mean, he lost his base. He lost his people. What I'm saying, he lost his anchor. He lost his family. His family are the reason. I mean, that and Jane and stuff, it helped him realize what he needed to be. He lost his father, who gave him all his mom, who gave him all the advice in the world. He lost, his brother. He lost his sister. He killed his sister.
Yeah.
I mean, Surtur technically did, but he basically killed his sister, put her out to die.
Yeah.
Lost Heimdall, who was another person who was an anchor, who gave him advice and was kind of kept him in the straight and narrow path. And he just lost Asgard altogether. Lost half of his people.
He lost everything, pretty much.
He lost half his people.
The only thing he had was the Avengers.
The Avengers and the other half of the Asgardians that survived with Valkyrie.
But he kind of left those people out to dry.
Well, it didn't technically leave them out. Well, in the next movie he did.
Yeah, in Endgame.
Well, because he doesn't really... He's not a good king.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need to be. Because he doesn't want to be. The only reason he's a king is because it's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's like, well, like a hero isn't... the line that his mom says is so good. I can't remember it exactly, but something that's like, the true test of a hero or something like that, or is not someone doing what they're supposed to be. It's being great at who they really are. I fucked that whole speech up, but it is similar sentiment.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he got that moment with his mom.
Yeah.
In Endgame, because I think that helped him finish Endgame off strong with his I think he finished off way better than he would have if he didn't get that closure.
Yeah.
And the moment where he pulls Mjolnir in, he's basically like, it makes me sad because he goes, still worthy.
Yeah.
Because that moment you go, wait, he didn't think he was worthy anymore.
Right.
He didn't think he could pick that shit up. Mm-hmm. Because the whole stuff with Stormbreaker has nothing to do with worth. Mm-hmm. That's power. Mm-hmm. It's just immense power. I mean, Thanos picked it up.
Yeah.
But Cap also picked it up too. Yeah. I mean, Cap picks up Mjolnir, but he also pulls back Stormbreaker. And I'm like, wait, hold on.
Well, let's go back real fast.
You're telling me Cap's powerful enough to pick that up? No, but you could say, because once he picked up Mjolnir, what did he have?
He had the powers of Thor.
Yeah, what's in the speech, right? Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the powers of Thor. So because he was worthy and he picked that up and he currently had the powers of Thor, is that why he could hold Stormbreaker as well? Because he's just a mortal man. I mean,
but
he's a super soldier.
Yeah.
If Cap gets shot in the head,
he dies.
He dies.
Well, he died in the comics that way.
He gets shot. Yeah, he gets shot in the chest. He gets shot by... I can't remember.
Crossbones.
Crossbones kill him in the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. And he was being manipulated by somebody else too. But he... God, I just want to watch that battle now. It's so good. With it. Yeah. Because there's so many little things that if you just pause, you can see, in that scene where, no, give me that one.
You get the small one.
You take the little one. In the background, Mantis is taking down one of those big fucks with her mind powers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But there's little things like that you just don't notice.
Yeah.
And I'm spitting all over this and putting COVID all over this microphone. You could pause any scene in that last battle in Endgame and just be it's like a painting. You could make a painting of it and put it on your wall, and I would do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that right now. Obviously the opening shot of like them all running, them assembling, coming out of the portals. Is there gonna be a moment like that ever again? Not even just Marvel, just movies where we've had.
I think there will.
Like that much buildup?
I think there will.
10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
Of buildup, and then crap. It's Sam. Can you read me?
On your left.
On your left, dude. When here's the thing. So let's each explain real quick our experience during that moment in the theater because we saw it at the same time.
Yeah.
We're at the same place, right? So we had a group of I feel like we had like 50 people in that movie.
At least 50.
But we saw it IMAX. So
you go first.
When that happened, God. When that happened, I remember Cap standing up, pulling the shield to tighten it, and then the shot of him all by himself. He was ready to die and take on that army by himself. And he was going to die, but he was ready to die for the world but by himself. I mean, it was basically a visualization of the line in the Infinity Gauntlet comic where he tells Thanos, he's like, as long as one man stands against you, you'll never be victorious and you'll never win, or something along those lines. He says that to him in the comics. And that was basically a visual representation of that line. And he's walking. And I'm still, at this moment, that movie does so much good misdirection because 30 minutes ago or whatever, Hulk snapped.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man said, it worked. We heard Hawkeye's wife. The birds were chirping. But the immediate great filmmaking shock of Thanos' ship being right above and then just boom! And I thought Ant-Man died by the way there
too.
Because those windows blew up, but he just shrunk. But them murdering freaking Avengers compound, and then the ensuing battle between the big three and Thanos when they're walking towards them, and that little dude, fantastic. But all that and the stuff with Hawkeye carrying the gauntlet and trying to get out of the place, and then Rhodey and all that. Distractions, all of them.
Yeah.
Because I had totally forgotten at that moment, oh shit, all the Avengers are alive again.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't remember because...
Except Nat.
and Gamora. Well, the...
Oh, new Gamora.
My Gamora.
Yeah.
The other one.
Yeah. So you were just
Loki,
totally misdirected.
Right, so misdirected. So when I heard... Because the first time you hear it, it's just like you barely hear it. It's like garbled. Hud and I both thought, Alex and I both thought it was the same thing. We both thought it was Rhodey at first.
Yeah,
it was Rhodey. I'm like, that's a little bit like Rhodey. And then I heard Captain Sam. And at that point, I said out loud, "No fucking way!" And I'm literally like, I'm not even on the edge of my seat. I'm like hovering. And then on your left, and dude, when I see the portal start to open, I go. And then I just screamed. I just kept screaming.
And even the music, like boom.
Oh, the music makes that scene too. But Black Panther being the first one to come out too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and dude, when he just looks at Cap and gives that nod, like, yeah, the motherfucking cavalry's coming, baby. Like, and then. Because see, then my only thought was, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a really cool scene where we get a couple Avengers coming out of portals.
Nope,
nothing could have prepared me for that. Because Alex and I for years had always said, I want like, because the best team shot was always OG Avengers, the circle shot, great shot, great music, amazing, goosebumps every time, still does. But we would always say, dude, what if they had every hero one big team shot?
And they did it.
And we even use the word panorama, which is basically what they did. So, but when Falcon flies through, that's when all the other ones start open.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sitting here and I see Falcon. I'm like, that's my boy. So I thought, okay, all the heroes that Dustin and Wakanda are going to come this way. And then when all the portals, you see multiple ones start opening, I said out loud, no way. And then the Guardians and Doctor Strange, and then Spider-Man swooping in. The theater went nuts when they saw Spider-Man. But then like it just kept going. Like it was like a who's who of the event. Like you had Meek and Korg and Valkyrie on a freaking Pegasus, and then you had the Asgardian army, you had the Ravager army, you had the Wakandan army, you had Rescue, you had the Wasp,
And then you also
Everybody.
had
Scarlet Witch coming back.
the wizard. I don't know
Oh
what
yeah,
they're
all the
called.
sorcerers.
Yeah, sorcerers. That's it.
Good
Googly.
googly moogly, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
And then,
You cried during this, didn't you?
oh my god, I was bawling,
Yeah,
baby.
okay.
The first time, I think I didn't cry as much as I did the second time I saw it, because then I was just like, I can't believe I'm watching this. The first
Yeah.
time I was just like, bah,
Well,
ah.
I remember because you did a double feature of the movie.
Oh, that one night, yeah.
Yeah, you went with us, and then
At
you
10
went-
o'clock or
and then you
10:30.
went to the 2 a.m. one.
Yeah, I saw it at 2 a.m. I didn't get home until 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning that night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and saw it 3 times the next day, and then 2 times, or 1 time on Saturday, and then 2 times on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sorry. When Thor. This is when I started getting the real goosebumps. So Thor reaches to the side, calls in Stormbreaker, which was, and he gets that little smirk in his face, and it was a total callback to the first Avengers when he's fighting Hulk in the hangar, and he's got that, like, he like feels the blood. He's like, oh yeah, let's go, because he likes to fight.
Yeah.
And a little bit of old Thor's back, and I like it. And then Iron Man just kind of sitting up, and he's like, holy shit, like everybody's here. And then rescue lands, and dude, I thought I would have hated that.
No, it was good.
I loved it.
It was
I don't know why I
good.
loved it so much, but I loved it because it was like we'd never seen it before, so that's why I thought I would hate it, like seeing her in a suit. But we obviously from Iron Man 3, we see she's got some combat capabilities at the end there, and then, is that everyone? What, you wanted more? And I totally had forgotten about, and a giant man comes with Hulk, Rhodey, and Rocket in his hands, and just throws them out. My only problem with Endgame is, and I get the decision they made with it, but God, if in that battle we had World Breaker Hulk, like I'm talking old school, like I get it, he's smart Hulk now, that's great. If we would have had like I'm talking like a gorilla, like, and then like he just sees Thanos and he knows that he's the reason that Nat's dead, and he just ape crawls at him like he does in Age of Ultron.
That'd be good.
Alex and I always had this theory that like Hulk could have been one to kill Thanos, and he like you know how Drax does in the comics where he rips through his heart.
Yeah.
He does it, and then Hulk, just like he did with Loki, puny god.
Ooh, that'd be good.
And then
good.
panorama,
Uh-huh.
team shot of all team shots, the music, dun 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 dun
So
dun
good.
dun, and then the line that we've been waiting for forever.
Avengers.
Hold for applause. Assemble, dude. And then like even the little stuff in that scene, Alex and I like almost like spewed. Like
Well, even like
when Iron Man lands.
and then he
Oh
says,
no, Iron Man doesn't land. Iron Man's already there.
Yeah,
Thor
he's
is the one that
already
lands.
there.
But
Yeah.
when he says Avengers,
and then Tony looks at him.
dude, he's basically that was his version of call it, Cap.
Call it.
In this movie, he's like, come on, motherfucker, call it. Shit. Let's go.
Well, I
and then
feel
Thor
like
lands, and then Thor screams.
well, I feel like if you're any person, you watch that fight scene from beginning to end, you're like, all right, show me the rest of the 22 other movies. Like, let's go.
If like you've never seen the other ones,
Yeah.
I agree, but I would be so upset with someone if that's the first Marvel movie they
Yeah.
saw, because that movie and Infinity War are both like they're basically, to me, they're both like Marvel was basically saying, I don't care if you like, you're either on this hype train by now or you're not, because we're not going to explain anybody. We're not like, you better know who that is, better know who that is, better know who that is, because we're not going to do backstories in these movies.
No.
It's go through all of it. And if you're, but I don't know people personally, but like Alex said, like a couple of people, like he knows people that Infinity War was their first Marvel movie. I'm like, really? Why? And they were like, oh, it's good. I'm like, oh, shut up. Shut up. Don't even talk.
You don't get to have an opinion.
But honestly, but people piss me off because they were like, is it really a good movie if you have to watch all the other movies to know what's going on?
Yes.
I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
that's a dumb art. You know how dumb that art? It'd be like saying, is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows really that good if you had to watch all the other ones? You know what I
Yes.
mean? That's a dumb argument. It's so stupid. Imagine jumping into Return of the King and not seeing the first Lord of
Oh,
the
it'd be
Rings.
the worst movie ever if
You'd be like,
if
this
you haven't
is
seen
stupid. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is dumb. It's like, no, you're dumb. You didn't do the homework. And it's not like we didn't ask you to read a book.
Yeah.
You're watching a movie. Like,
it. Well, I feel like, there are movies that have that emotional connection, like, in just one movie. Like Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
but that's also like.
But it's not a series.
That's true.
If it's a series, you can't be like, well, I just want to go see the last one. But I guarantee there are people who do that with Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2. I guarantee there are people who would maybe seen a couple of them or maybe not seen them all. But and that's just the thing with movies, is that movies, you would think it's, kind of not anymore, but movies make money, a lot of it, word of mouth. Uh-huh. They're like, oh, did you go see this movie? Like, oh, it's crazy, it's good, go see it or whatever. Like, the word of mouth spreads, and if all you see on Facebook is your friends talking about Deathly Hallows Part 2, you're going to probably
go, yeah.
Well, I don't want to be the only one who didn't see this movie, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be able to talk about it around the water cooler.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't for, was it Infinity War or Endgame? Where there's like what was it called? Blockade or something like that?
What do you mean?
Where nobody could talk about it on Twitter. Nobody could really talk about it.
I mean, it's not like it was against the law. You definitely could have. It was just you've been a dick. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, in my opinion. Okay, that movie made like $1.3 billion in the opening weekend. It was the fastest movie to ever hit $1 billion. It's the number one movie of all time. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm not blaming it. A lot of people, they can't go see movies opening weekend, whatever. I would say 95 to 98% of the people who wanted to actually see that movie and cared about spoilers, they saw it the opening weekend. I mean, look at the numbers. Mm-hmm. How much money it made. Now, I accounted for like 28% of those numbers, but still, it's fine.
Do you remember how much you spent on tickets?
Not a crazy amount, because I had the AMC
stubs thing.
Yeah, so you got three movies a week. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 3 movies a week. It was a great deal, by the way. And you could do IMAX, you could do Dolby or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think I paid for the first time I saw it. Somebody else got my ticket, so I paid for that. The 2 a.m. one, I definitely used my stubs for. The ones on Friday. The other 2 times on Friday, I saw it. You could technically say I saw that movie. I saw it 3 times on Friday. You could technically say I saw that movie 5 times just on Friday, because the first showing went past midnight into Friday. Yeah. And then I saw it 2 a.m., and then I saw it 3 times during the day on Friday. So I technically saw that movie 5 times on Friday.
If you guys haven't already picked up, Quinn's a little bit of a Marvel fan, just a tiny bit.
Oh, dude, like that was my weekend. Like I was like, don't talk to me. This is my vacation weekend. And I just, like, we had like one Taekwondo event that we had to do, which was our SmackDown.
Oh God.
And that was, if we didn't have that, I would have been at the movies during that period of time. But like, because I didn't work on Saturdays, I got the day off on Friday. And
that's right, you did.
I got the day off on Friday. So basically, if the SmackDown wasn't a thing, it would have been 4 days of me spending at the movies, which it still almost was, but there would have been no breaks. It would have been like breaks for food and sleep, maybe. Like, because like I slept
probably more for food than sleep, to be honest.
Well, because after the 2 a.m. show, I was tired. After the 2 a.m. one, I was tired, so I didn't get home till like 5:30 in the morning. Like, it was almost starting to get light outside, and like my parents didn't even text me. I was surprised. I thought they were like, "Where are you right now?" I'm seeing the Avengers at 5 o'clock in the morning. I got home. And I literally, because my showing for the other one didn't start till like 1. So I slept like basically till noon. Woke up, showered. That one I had to drive a bit because it wasn't a local theater. It was one where it was one of those AMC dine-ins. So I had to like drive a little bit.
How nice was that?
So worth it. Yeah. Recliners, dude. The waiters come to you. They serve you like your beer and your food. And they actually have like food. Yeah. But even then, I also got popcorn, too. Like, I was like, dude, the best version of the AMC popcorn I've ever had was the one where they brought it to me. Me and Adam went the next weekend, I think, to go see it there. And he was like, dude, this popcorn's so good. Like, because it's like, I don't know why. It's like they serve it to you, but it's like, it was the perfect amount of butter.
I think I went there once to see Godzilla King of Monsters.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You saw that movie, man.
I wanted to see it, so.
The first one was so good.
It was really good.
It really pisses me off how bad that second one. I mean, it wasn't horrific.
It wasn't horrible, but like, there was more to be.
But now I'm like, because the next one's Kong versus Godzilla.
It's supposed to come out this year.
I think it was supposed to come out next year, 2021.
No, it was supposed to come out this year.
No. I guarantee it was 2021. But I guarantee it's probably not going to come out next year. But that movie's mostly CGI. How can they not finish that movie? There ain't that much practical effects on that one. I'll tell you what, though. I don't care if the last Godzilla wasn't great. I like Kong Skull Island.
I do too. I love that one.
And the 2014 Godzilla with Bryan Cranston, I mean, he was only in it for the first, 20 minutes, but that movie, I love that movie. I don't care if all three of those movies were dog shit. You sell me Kong versus Godzilla in 2021, with good graphics and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I will be there with bells on. It's like the biggest UFC fight, basically. It is a pay-per-view event. Godzilla versus King Kong.
Uh-huh.
Are you kidding me?
It was supposed to come out the 20th of this month, but then was pushed back till May of next year.
Okay, so end of 2020. Okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because King of Monsters came out last year, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of weird that I swear that it would have taken more than a year. I'm actually probably glad they pushed it back. Work on that movie a little bit. Let's make that amazing.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Kong was good. Godzilla 2014, great. Last Godzilla, meh.
Yeah.
So you gotta knock this shit out of the park. Now, I know it's gonna be like Batman vs. Superman with Kong Godzilla, because they're not, one of them's not gonna kill the other one.
Yeah, let's just hope that the director doesn't have to remake it.
So, because they're gonna fight for a lot of the movie, and then there's gonna be some bigger monster that they have to team up. Dude, I don't care how cheesy, how stupid it is, how do they communicate or whatever, but if they just give each other a look, and Godzilla's
yeah,
and kind of nods his head a little bit, but not over the top like a human does, and then they turn their heads back to whatever they're about to fight, and they fist bump, and they lock a fight, an old school karate fighting stance. I'm fuck it, I'm in. I'll pay $50 to go see that movie, because, and honestly, after not getting movies for so long, I will be foaming at the mouth for anything that even smells like Blockbuster. That's why Tenet, even though I love Tenet.
I love Tenet too.
But if this was just a normal year, I probably wouldn't have been as foaming at the mouth excited for it, because we just hadn't been to the movies and so long. So when that new movie, a new Blockbuster Nolan movie was out, I was like, ugh. So whatever the next blockbuster is, I don't care what it is. Now, is Wonder Woman 2 still supposed to come out in December?
That's what I'm looking up.
I heard they might go video on demand with that. I hope they don't. I think they would lose a ton of money. I'll watch it.
December 25th.
Christmas.
Yeah, Come to America 2 comes out on December 18th.
Is that real? I know it's real, but
yeah.
Is that release date still real? Because that was the original release date.
This article was on November 5th.
Okay, what website?
CNN. Or CNET, sorry.
I was going to say, big news. I'm just kidding.
Code Biased. I don't know what that is.
Are these December movies?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Damn
actually.
it. No Time to Die was supposed to come out this month.
Yeah.
I was originally supposed to come out in April.
April.
But, God, that one I might be the most mad about of all the movies this year.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's done, though. The movie's
It's done. They just didn't release it.
Well, because they're afraid. Well, because they're afraid that they're not going to make money because of the theaters being a certain capacity. I mean, there's this vaccine apparently coming out. So hey,
maybe, hopefully,
rush that thing through trials. I don't even care if they're give it to me and it gives me a monkey arm that you can open theaters back up. I don't care. It gives me fish eyeballs.
Soul, the new the Disney.
But they're doing that on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, they're streaming on December 25th.
But I think they're going to do the same thing they did with Mulan, where it's going to be like an upcharge.
That was an awful movie. I didn't like it.
I wouldn't say it was an awful movie.
I shouldn't say that. I think I'm comparing it to the old one.
Right. If you're going in with the expectations of the cartoon, you're not going to like it. Because it's not like that. No. But if you just go in thinking of it as a martial arts movie, it's dope.
It's great. Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
But it's hard to distance yourself from
the original
Mushu and just the great music and
dishonor on you, dishonor
on your cow. I mean, it's hard to distance from that. But if you just look at it as just a straight up martial arts movie, I actually think they did a very respectful job of doing it. Full Asian cast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think now if they would have went the full route and made it full they're speaking Mandarin and stuff
and subtitles,
that would have been bold move, Cotton. I might not have made him a lot of money, but if you want to be super super respectful of it, which I don't think you need to be at that point, but They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch foreign films?
Yes.
God, it's
You know
hard
what my
for me.
favorite foreign film is? Parasite.
I haven't seen it. Heard it's good.
What?
I know, it was like rated that was last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you see there. I know it's good. I mean, didn't it win an Oscar, or was nominated for an Oscar or something like that? I think
It won Best Picture.
it didn't win Best Picture.
Yes, it did.
Parasite did not. Did
Yes,
that
it
really
did.
win Best
Yeah,
Picture?
it did.
Best Picture.
I swear it
2020.
won.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Foreign film winning Best Picture, right?
Mhm.
Didn't they used to have like a Best Foreign Film category?
They did. I thought it won that too.
Did it? Best Foreign
Or it might have been like Roma or something like that.
Film 2020. Best International Feature Film, Parasite.
Dude, it won a
That
lot
thing-
of
that thing
awards.
cleaned up, man.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who directed it, I think, is the same guy who directed Snowpiercer,
Yeah.
which is a great movie.
It's an underrated
Chris
movie.
Evans is great in that movie. The twist is unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
Don't spoil it for people that haven't
Okay.
seen it.
But there's a theory that it's Willy Wonka.
Oh, I hate that theory. It's so stupid.
I
That
like
is
it
so
though.
dumb.
Oh.
That is such a dumb
Well,
theory.
we won't get into it this time.
No. But I have a trouble with foreign films. Not
Right.
that they're not good and they're not
Right.
well written, but sorry, I shouldn't say I have a trouble with foreign films. I have a trouble with subtitles. It's hard. I don't like
Huh.
it. Well, because it looks like I'm missing the movie. Because
Okay.
I'm looking down and then looking up, looking
Yeah.
down, looking up, and I'm trying to do it quickly.
Uh-huh.
To like read it all and then look at the scene.
Uh-huh.
Because for me, a movie is a piece of art
Yeah.
that uses so many different things. You know, actors, good cinematography, music, dialogue.
And you feel like
action,
the subtitles are taking away from all that?
from the full experience. I'm not
Okay.
saying it's taking away from the whole movie,
Uh-huh.
but it to me it diminishes my viewing
I get that.
experience
Yeah.
to like 80%.
Okay. Yeah, I get
When
that.
when I understand the language now, I
Uh-huh.
could go learn the languages, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of work to just watch a couple movies.
Yeah.
But if I know the language that I'm like English
Uh-huh.
that I'm watching, the movie that they're speaking in it. Now, if there's somebody who doesn't speak English in the movie and there's the random subtitle, that's
Uh-huh.
not as bad because it's not the whole movie.
Yeah.
I can fully engulf myself in the movie because it's just like hearing a conversation. It's
Uh-huh.
going into my ears so easily, and I'm easily
Yeah.
recognizing it. I'm not having to process word. Like, because when you're watching a movie, and listening to like something, a song or whatever, and you understand the language, it's way easier to process it
Uh-huh.
like immediately. Like we're having a conversation
Yeah.
right now. You're hearing me, and your brain's already immediately got the response that
Yeah.
you want. Now, reading
I
is slower too, even if you're
Yeah,
reading the
it
even
is.
if you're reading the language that you. So if I'm reading English,
It is slower.
if I'm reading English, it is like I have to read it and process it because I'm going
Uh-huh.
through the line like this, and I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
And then take that into the account where I am also reading the English at the bottom and trying to process that,
Uh-huh.
and I'm hearing a language that I don't understand over the top of that.
Well,
It's really hard. I'm
so-
not saying it's impossible.
I do this with like my Netflix shows. I put on subtitles and have the audio
Why
in
do
it
so many people do that now?
because
my parents do that. My sister does that.
I don't know
Alex
why.
does that.
because like I understand it more. Like I pick up on more stuff. So like
But what if the subtitles cover something up in the bottom of the screen that was supposed to be part of the scene that you miss?
yeah, that's the downside to it. But like so I'm about to die on my soapbox because he doesn't like this, or I don't know if he like it. Anime.
What box?
Die on my soapbox.
Oh, I don't hate anime.
Okay.
I'm just not. It's not my
Into it?
go-to. I mean,
Okay.
I like things that are anime-esque.
Okay.
Like I like Legend of Korra. I like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Those aren't
I like,
anime.
I know they're not, but they take inspiration from anime and then other like
It's the art style.
Japanese art styles and stuff like that. The way like the big eyes and stuff,
Yeah.
the super expressive stuff, and the quick talking. Sometimes Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, that kind of stuff. It's not exactly anime, but it is cut from a similar cloth.
Yes. So I think anime is awesome.
Like what do you watch? Like My Hero Academia or something like that? Like
Well, I did until it stopped because that stopped.
what are the other ones?
So my favorite one would be the one that has the most like the one that like really hits me
Jesus.
would be Naruto and Naruto Shippuden.
So Naruto's technically an anime.
Yes, it is.
That came on Nickelodeon.
No, it didn't.
Did Naruto
It was aired. It was
aired on Nickelodeon?
No, it was aired on kid. It's an anime. Trust me. It
Or
came
was it
out.
Cartoon Network.
It was Cartoon Network at night. It did.
How do you spell Naruto?
Naruto and
Or Naruto?
Naruto. Yeah, it's an anime. But I'm not wrong.
Hmm. That's Nickelodeon.
Okay.
That doesn't look like Nick and Nighty. That looks like Nickelodeon.
Okay. Well, Naruto was more of the kiddie one. Naruto Shippuden was the story after Naruto, and it's awesome. I'm rewatching it right now. It's awesome. But the one that I really like the most is called Promised Neverland. It's on Netflix.
It's like a deep cut.
It's new actually. It's really good.
I'm saying like a deep cut is in like only real anime fans would know whatever you're
Promised
talking about.
Neverland, dude, it's so good. But Netflix also does anime too, and I think it's pretty good. Like Beastars. I wouldn't consider this an anime, but Blood of Zeus was pretty good. What?
So I'm sorry, I was just reading some of the comments on our Sorcerer's Stone commentary that are coming up, and I haven't even put up a poll yet. And we have one
For Lord of the Rings? For Star Wars?
3 Star Wars votes, and 1 Lord of the Rings vote, extended editions. Well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do the extended editions.
If you guys are listening to this right now, vote for Lord of the Rings.
Hey, you know, we can do... I mean, if we work hard, we could do both at the same time.
God.
I mean, we would have to... find another recording day, like other than just the weekend on Sunday or whatever. We'd probably have to do 1 commentary on Saturday and like 2 on Sunday. Which, I mean, I'm always down for watch Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. But hey, we're already almost done with Harry Potter.
We're
gonna be halfway through this weekend.
Yeah.
After we're because we've already watched Chamber, we've already watched Prisoner. We're just watching Goblet this weekend, and we have 4 more after that because there's 8 movies. So we're already halfway through, basically, Harry Potter. That doesn't seem... It seems like we've been...
Trucking
through that.
Trucking.
So I'm more than down for...
Yeah.
I'm just going to need a lot of Monster.
Yeah.
A lot of, like... But that actually might be cooler and better, though, to not go back-to-back with the same series, but, watch Goblet of Fire, and then afterwards watch Phantom Menace. Or afterwards watch Fellowship of the Ring, because it's a completely different movie genre, everything. So your head's gonna be in a whole new, fresh place. Like, oh, lightsabers, and blasters, and shit. Like when you were just dealing with coming of age wizards. You know what I mean? So I think that might not be as hard as we think now. Watching I can do it, and but I need to prepare for it. Watching like 3 or 4 Harry Potters back to back. I mean, it takes a toll on you eventually. You know. But it's almost like, you're in these eating competitions, and you're like eating like the same, like these big steaks and whatever, and they always ask for like, can I get like some French fries or something
to break it,
change the palate, because your palate starts to get just destroyed by like halfway through that steak because it's a 96-ounce steak or whatever. But I will say Marvel's different though. Because all the Marvel movies are very different from each other.
Yeah, they are.
Because they're different series within a giant series. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, that stuff. I mean, again, I can do it. But a full 1 through 3 Lord of the Rings extended edition day, that's a day.
Yeah, that's a day.
You need
that's a journey.
You need to put some time aside, and I need to drink some Monster and get to it. And there's a lot of heavy shit, a lot of heavy dialogue, lots of just, non-poorly written explain.
Well, if you're not paying attention,
explorative dialogue, and that's the word I'm looking for.
What?
Expositional dialogue. Sorry, explorative.
Well, if you're not paying attention during those movies, you're gonna lose out on a whole bunch of
So I'm gonna keep hitting Adam while we're watching Lord of the Rings. Like, did you pick up on that? Pick up on that? Huh? No. Oh, yeah.
Let's record.
Like how many? Like, all right, what's the name of the kingdom? Who's on the throne? It's Denethor, son of Arathor, and father of
Boromir
and Faramir. Like. That's the thing I feel like with Lord of the Rings, and there's similar issues with, not as bad in Lord of the Rings, but there's so many names that
Yeah.
you got to remember.
He's going to be
Game of Thrones
confused.
is horrific with that,
Oh.
though. There's
Yeah.
even people who have read the books, even people who have watched the show from day one,
Yeah.
there'll be characters that show up like, oh, it's that guy. It's the woman. It's the queen who has the 8-year-old breastfeeding on her. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like if you've never seen Game of Thrones, you're probably like, what? Like,
That-
what are you talking
and
about?
that's one of the more PG sort of things in Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
God, like, you can't remember all those names. You just
No.
go to be going like, oh, I remember him.
but you remember the big ones.
Yeah,
Like you remember
the Starks.
Walter Frey,
Yeah, well, and you
the
remember
Red
the-
Wedding.
You remember the Starks. You remember the Targaryens. You remember
The
the
Lannisters.
Lannisters, like the big families and
Yeah.
stuff. Jon Snow. You know
Mhm.
nothing, Jon Snow.
That's the side
That was
people.
a horrific accent that I just did, by the way. But with Lord of the Rings, I feel like they do it now. The books are way more names in the books than the
Yeah.
movies, but they even put a lot of names in the movies
Uh-huh.
and characters. I
The
keep saying
movies?
names, but they do a good job in the movies of keeping you kind of honed in on the
Yeah.
main, and even the side ones aren't horrific to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And the names aren't as complicated as Game of Thrones.
No.
Because there's not a lot of... You get the occasional, like, son of this person,
Mhm.
but that's everybody in Game of Thrones. Like, son of this,
Yeah.
like, Queen of Dragons, son of this, daughter of this, father of this, leader of this. Like, it's always something of something.
Uh-huh.
Lord of the Rings, you get that every now and then, but it's mostly Frodo,
Yeah.
Samwise Gamgee. I don't know what accents I keep doing because they're just they're random and they're not specific. It's just,
No.
I'm putting a little twist in my voice.
Uh.
Don't tempt me, Frodo.
All right, here I got a question.
Ooh, go for it.
So this is like a now sort of thing. So what's a TV show, movie,
Are you asking
YouTube?
me?
Yeah. YouTube channel that you've been watching that you think is great?
Like I've watched for a long time.
No,
Still watching?
just recently.
I think I could answer that the same way for both, I guess, because most of the stuff I watch, I've been watching for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody knows I listen to Joe Rogan and Your Mom's House. I'm not going to use those. Go check them out, though. Great podcast. Don't be the faint of heart if you go to Your Mom's House, because there's some. If you're easily offended, definitely don't go over to Your Mom's House. YouTube. Well, I used to be big into. I'm into the old stuff with them, but I used to be big into Collider. And
Okay.
then a bunch of the people left and did their own thing, and the shows started getting... They weren't great anymore. A lot of the main crew that I used to like left. It was just like a daily... They did daily movie news shows called Movie Talk, and then they did... They were the inspiration for actually the movie commentaries that we did, because they did those for like all the Star Wars movies and stuff. Not to say we did anything better. Their commentary, their actual movie commentary is way better than our gargle that we like talk through the movie with.
Yeah.
But I think I've done some slight improvements of like,
Okay.
because adding the timer and stuff like that. Because I will say they didn't do that in their commentaries, and it's a bitch trying to sync the movie up with them. But they used to do all that stuff, but they spread out, and now basically they all all the people who were originally on there kind of have their own things, like Schmoes now, and like John Campea. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a really
so.
cool, I guess, movie pundit, movie news guy. That's YouTube. I mean, Jeremy Johns. I mean, I guess I could just see my YouTube subscriptions, see what I'm subscribed to. TV shows. I don't watch a ton of TV shows. I really don't like. Mandalorian, when new stuff comes out, Mandalorian, Stranger Things, new Marvel shows, like when the Scarlet Witch or WandaVision show comes out. We're going to be all over that. We're going to be doing reactions to that. God, I hope they don't come out on Fridays like Mandalorian. So it's going to be a long night. Let's see. I'm subscribed to. I'm surprised the Schmoes now. CinemaSins on
always
YouTube.
good.
Hidden Xperia, he's a good Halo guy. ESO, he also is a. Are you looking for more YouTube channels or
anything that you've been watching, really?
Binging with Babish?
Ooh.
Trevor Bauer's vlog is amazing. He's the
I haven't
Reds
watched
pitcher.
him.
He's
Okay.
He might not be the Reds pitcher for much longer, but we'll see. And then I subscribe to a bunch of reaction channels. If I could list a bunch of them, but I feel like I'd be leaving people out. Obviously, Tyra Magnus and Blind Wave, big one there. But those are just a couple of the big ones. Zaka-san. But again, TV shows, I don't watch a ton. Mostly when brand new ones come out that I'm already like steeped in. Like when the Marvel stuff came out, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Defenders and Iron Fist and Luke Cage. And then basically I watch older TV shows. I just watch reruns a lot because Game of Thrones, I never finished. I started it, got a decent chunk through it, but then once I heard that the last season was a bag of shit, it's really hard to keep going. It's hard to keep going. It's like, I'm going to run this great mile, but the very end of the mile, I'm going to accidentally trip and fall off a cliff. It sounds so great. Don't I want to run the rest of this mile?
No, you don't.
No. I'm trying to think of other big shows that that's the thing, is like there's shows that I'm really into, but I haven't even watched in years, just because you know they're kind of like they passed. But I'll every now and then I'll rewatch Lucifer.
Lucifer's a good one.
I still haven't watched season. Was it
5A or 5 Part 1?
Yeah, I haven't watched
that's
that
good.
yet. I haven't watched that yet. I should. I mean, it's only like eight or nine episodes, right? I mean, because they've moved to Netflix and they're like hour-long episodes now, which I like.
I think that's a big difference between me, you, and Adam. Is I feel like you and Adam don't really watch that many TV shows.
It's just, for me, it's so hard because I know me. I don't get sucked in. But here's the thing: it takes a lot to suck me in. So, like, I think a reason I don't get into TV shows as much is because there's so many. Yeah, and I feel like I can't.
That's understandable.
I can't, and then these shows that I didn't get into from the start are so hard to get into because there's so much of the show. Yeah, there's no way I would literally have to stop living and want like I will bet dollars to donuts that Supernatural is a good show.
It is somewhat.
There's like 500 episodes. Yeah, I'm not starting that shit. I'm sorry. I don't care how good it is. Well, that'll be way too many. And that's the thing, is like I don't like these episodic shows like on TV now, like the old school way of doing things on network TV when there's 23, 24 episodes in a season. It's like I would much rather give me 10 great hour-long episodes that's like a big movie, because they start running together. You're going to get stale writing if you have that many episodes. Like that's why I dropped Arrowverse.
Yeah. Well, it's also like Monster of the Week sort of deal. Like, correct. And it gets annoying and boring real fast.
And then in the very beginning, the mid-season finale, and the very end of the show, they do this overarching plot. But all the other episodes, they're not filler episodes per se, but again, villain of the week kind of shit. No matter what it is. I mean, cop shows the same way. Yeah. You know, like NCIS or CSI, Law and Order, they're all the same way. That's the bad guy of the week, and then there's a overarching story of the season, but and the only reason like Lucifer was still like that before it went on Netflix. When it was on TV, it was like 20-something episodes.
Well, season 1 and season 2 were pretty short. Season 3 was
really long. Yeah, but again, and season 2 was like still like 19 episodes. Season 1 was like something like 11. I can't remember exactly, but what was the first season? They're not going to get a 20 episode bill for not having anything. So but the reason that one worked for me, and it can work for other shows too, I'm just saying it's hard to get into. They did a better job, I think, in Lucifer of doing the overarching plot throughout almost each episode. But also the characters and the writing was so good. Like Lucifer himself, that actor Tom Ellis is, I mean, he's the reason I can watch 23 episodes of that show. Yeah, he's witty, he's funny, the writing's great, his chemistry with the cast is great. I can watch 23 episodes of that. Not every show's like that, even if it's a good concept, good show. Like there's so many shows now. I'm so behind on shit that it's like, which one now? I'm
which
also
one
which one do I start? Because then I'll feel like, well, I left that one out. Yeah, I haven't watched Westworld. Any of it.
I've only watched
apparently
a couple episodes.
It's godlike. Apparently,
yeah.
I haven't watched
season 2 of The Boys.
I haven't watched any of The Boys.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't watched any of The Boys.
What?
I'm so far behind. I haven't watched. Isn't there a Watchmen series?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's really good too. I haven't watched. Like, what are the top current TV shows? Because I watched. Now, I've done that with some. but back before there were so many new ones. So like
Yeah.
I went back. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, and I watched all of Dexter. So good. Dexter's amazing, and they're bringing it back
Are they?
with Michael C. Hall.
Huh.
So when I went back and did that, but there weren't as many great TV shows, and Netflix changed that. Like with the Stranger Things and shit like that, and what's the other one on Netflix that's super big, the political one that Kevin Spacey used to be on. Shit, I haven't watched that one
I know what
either.
it is. Oh crap! What is it? Oh my god! I watched it too.
Top shows of all time. Like I've never seen Sopranos.
Really?
No.
You'd like that.
Apparently it's amazing.
You'd like that.
And I like gangster stuff and mob
Yeah.
stuff. Now I did recently, because of quarantine, I watched all of Breaking Bad. It's phenomenal.
so good.
It's phenomenal. It might be one of the best. It might be the best show of all time.
Did you also watch
with like The Wire?
Did you watch?
I've never seen The
Oh.
Wire, and everybody's
I
like,
haven't either.
but apparently it might be the number one show of all time. But Breaking Bad, but again, Breaking Bad, there was only 5 seasons, so it was a little bit easier to swallow than 500 fucking episodes of Supernatural, or Grey's Anatomy is so good. Okay, I'm not watching 800 episodes of Grey's Anatomy.
House
Sorry.
of Cards. House of
Yes,
Cards.
House of Cards.
I watched that one. That was good.
I've barely watched any Seinfeld, and I know apparently it's the best comedy show of all time.
I haven't watched it.
The Wire, again, I haven't watched. I've watched all of the good Simpsons.
The Good Simpsons.
I haven't really watched like much of the past 10 years. Haven't seen Mad Men. Obviously I love The Office. I haven't seen Twin Peaks. I hate Friends.
What?
Come at me. I hate Friends. Deadwood, hadn't seen that. Curb Your Enthusiasm, haven't seen that. I've never seen Arrested Development, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Cheers. I've watched most of Lost, Not the Shield, 6 Feet Under, West Wing, X-Files. I haven't watched a lot of TV shows. Like, these are all shows I've never seen before. The Americans, Friday Night Lights. I've watched maybe 2 episodes of South Park. Like, seriously. Battlestar Galactica, nope. Better Call Saul, which was the spinoff of Breaking Bad, apparently is really good. Didn't see it. I saw the movie they came out with, the El Camino, which was the sequel to the Breaking Bad.
I thought it was good.
I liked it.
Yeah. Sure. Have you seen Sherlock?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, why do I like that? Because each season is like 3 episodes, and each episode is like 2 hours long. They're basically movies. Each one's a movie. They're like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And there's each season has 3 episodes or whatever in it. I can swallow that pill a lot easier.
Oh, Stranger Things.
Obviously, I've seen Stranger Things. But you can binge that in a night, and it's only like what, like 8 episodes, 9 episodes, some bullshit like that. I can do that again, or do it like The Mandalorian, where it's the same concept, 8 or 9 episodes, an hour long, but it's a weekly release. But it's still the same concept. It's not a 23 episode season of 30 minutes, and like, don't you feel like you could totally kill, even though, okay, if it's 10 episodes and they're each an hour long,
I could. No,
in a night, you
I
could
did
totally
that.
kill that.
I
Yeah,
did that.
Did that. But if I tell you there's 20 episodes and they're each a half hour long,
I'd do
even
it.
though that's even though it's the exact same amount of time, doesn't in your head, it feels like more tasking, because you know there's gonna be so much filler bullshit in it.
Well, what I watched recently was Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Oh, that's the one that's set in Kentucky.
Yeah,
It's set in Kentucky.
yeah,
But it's a chess show.
yeah, it's really good.
It's a show, right?
Yeah, it's with Anya Taylor-Joy.
There's not a lot of episodes, right? It's a Netflix style thing.
Yeah, it's very good. It goes through like this girl's life who's a master at chess.
What's the thing is, like, the show doesn't have to be a godly concept.
No,
Even though, like, you get those, like, Stranger Things where it's like, God, this is a genius show. It's amazing. This is taking every 80s movie and mixing it into one show. You got E.T., you got Goonies, Stand By Me,
Ghostbusters.
Alien, Ghostbusters. Basically, you got everything in there. But again, it doesn't have to be some crazy godlike concept. Something as simple as that, somebody playing chess, or like politics, like with the
House of
Cards and stuff like that. I mean, obviously politics get complicated for sure, but it is not like the unbelievable like concept that'll blow the spiritual journey out your butt like kind of show. So it's just about, I feel like it's about when you get into it.
yeah,
Now, you can be peer pressured in a show, which I have, like Dexter, like Breaking Bad and stuff like that. But getting peer pressure in a show is a lot harder than just falling into a show. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because here's the thing. I I'm a YouTube addict. I mean, I'm a YouTuber, obviously, so I spend so much time on YouTube that like I would rather scroll through like 80 videos on YouTube and then scroll through Netflix and pick something random.
I would too.
And that's just something different about me like a lot of people are not that way, and that's why they watch so much Netflix.
Well,
I didn't watch that much Netflix over quarantine. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I've watched everything on Netflix, watched everything on Disney Plus." I'm like, I watched like 30 videos on YouTube a day, and I still barely scratched the surface of YouTube. Like,
well, so I like to have a TV show that's in for background. Like I'll put on.
Oh yeah, well you can put on The Office. Yeah, and it's got to be a show that you've seen.
Well, actually, I experimented with another show. I'm watching Chicago Med.
Oh God.
I put it on the background.
How many? Like, there's a Chicago Med. There's like a Chicago Fire. There's a Chicago PD. Yeah. Like, how many of these fucking shows they make?
I watched Chicago Fire. I didn't watch Chicago PD.
The Good Doctor.
But I put those in the background, and I occasionally look up and see what's happening, trying to put together what happened with Hill.
That sounds horrific. Like,
it's actually kind of fun.
I can only do that with shows that I've seen before, and I'm not just seen before, like ungodly number of times where I can quote it. And just like, I mean, I can put on a Marvel movie in the background easy. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: the problem with that is I'll get distracted and I'll just end up watching the movie, which is not the goal. The goal was to work on something or dick around on my phone while something's on in the background. Office is a great show, but it is also a great background show once you've seen all 9 seasons 30 times. Wait, holy shit!
What?
That's getting taken off real soon, isn't it? Fudge.
Is it this? Is it next month?
It's 2021, right? Is it January 2021? That went by real quick because I was just saying earlier this year, like, oh, we had a full year of it. We're still good. I'm gonna have to Cody that. Nobody heard that. I don't bootleg things. Nobody heard that. Yeah, because although I haven't watched it in a while. But that's the thing. I won't watch The Office for like weeks at a time, and then I'll start it, and I'll have to start at season 1, and then I'll just roll through the whole thing. And by before I know it, it's Michael at Dwight's wedding, and that's what she said. And then I'm crying, and I'm like, God damn it.
Season 1's probably the hump. Season 1 probably...
It's the hump the first time.
Yeah.
But then once you watch the show, I love season 1. Because you embrace the cringe humor.
Yeah.
Because The Office relies on a lot of the cringe humor. I mean, Michael Scott is cringe humor.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If it was all the jokes that he says, if they were... Don't change a thing about the jokes that Michael Scott says, but do one of those stereotypical comedy show laugh tracks behind it. Yeah. It's not as cringy because you just feel like, oh, you're supposed to laugh at that. But then he'll say something like racist or sexist or something, and nobody's laughing because it's supposed to be a real office. Mm-hmm. And you're like, But then once you see it so many times, you laugh because you're like, oh, that's Michael. Like, that's Michael. Because like the stuff in like season 1. The company or when they do the basketball game.
Oh God,
that episode makes me laugh so hard. But the first time I saw it, I was like, there's a lot of awkward moments. Not just with Michael, like the stuff with like Jim and Roy and stuff like that. Just awkward situations.
Yeah,
it's like, God, this is hard to watch. But then again, once you watch The Office, and I know people who hate The Office. And I get it, but I feel like they didn't get past the. And a lot of people will go, "Is it really a good show if you had to get past a certain point?" And there's an argument to be made that like you could say that like, is it really that good if you have to get past the bad stuff?
Yeah.
But I don't even think to me, it's not a hump, and it's not bad episodes, and it's not bad writing. To me, it's learning the show's sense of humor. Mm-hmm. You're not actually experiencing poor writing or bad jokes or bad bad characterization. You're not realizing because you're not every other show. When The Office came out, it was so different.
Yeah,
because every other show had laugh tracks and shit, and the stereotypical like studio, the way it was filmed like a mockumentary. That's what they call it, mockumentary style, like a documentary. But every other show was like, comedy wise, it was always like a 3-room. They always got like a 3-room comedy where there'd be like a set where there'd be like a kitchen, a dining room, and like a set over here for like the bedrooms or whatever.
Yeah.
So there would always be that 3-room comedy. Mm-hmm. This completely changed that, and I think it shocks a lot of people the first time because they're not used to that. Now nowadays, you have more comedies like that. But The Office, I think, kind of started that, and I might be wrong. You can maybe go up, but it was pretty early in that comedy scene, early 2000s. But like there's stuff like Schitt's Creek
Uh-huh.
Have you watched that?
No, I haven't.
I've only watched a couple episodes. It's really funny. But it's the same. Like, there's no laugh. Modern Family does it the same way too. Modern Family kind of a little bit stole from The Office a little bit, mockumentary kind of style, where there's like they're having like interviews and stuff with them, and like it's like cameras going through a house. It's not sets.
Yeah. Well, also Parks and Rec.
Right, but Parks and Rec is supposed to be in the same universe as The Office, correct?
Ooh,
Technically, I think it's technically supposed to be in the same universe.
The same people made it.
Quasi connected. Mm-hmm. They might even mention Scranton, or we might see a Dunder Mifflin thing somewhere on it. But again, what started it all? The Office. Modern Family did it too. Schitt's Creek's really good. It's basically about this family that had a bunch of money, rich family, and then they go fucking broke. They realized their father had bought a town called Schitt's Creek.
Huh.
So just for fun, because it's named Schitt's Creek, and they can live there even though they're broke. So they have to live there with these like basically hillbillies, and there's like druggies and hillbillies and shit. So they're up Schitt's Creek basically. But it's funny. Catherine O'Hara is like the mom in the show. The girl, she was the mom in Home Alone. Yeah, stuff like that. So I can't remember the other actors and actresses, but I've only watched a handful of episodes, but they're really funny. Good. Okay. And it's just good humor that isn't like I remember. So Alex had an episode on Saturday, and I was like sitting there, or Sunday morning, and it was just a funny joke where like this girl's wasted, like so drunk, and this guy walks up that you're supposed to think he's gay, but I'm not gonna spoiler alert. Yeah. But I guess spoiler alert. He's not gay, but he's just very flamboyant. Yeah. But you think he's gay, and then they twist it on you. So he walks up to her, and he goes, instead of saying you're wasted or you're drunk, the way he says it made me laugh, piss my pants laughing. He just goes, "You smell very flammable right now." And I'm like, I'm gonna say that the next time someone's pissed drunk near me, and I'm not pissed drunk, and just be like, dude, you smell very flammable right now. Like I could light a match, and if you breathed on it, we'd all be dead. Yeah. Or you'd blow up. So, but again, those are the comedies that I'm more starting to lean towards. There will always be the classic couple comedies that are cheesy, old school. That I will always Home Improvement. Oh, that's a good one. That is my favorite. Like,
do you like Full House?
One. I never really got into it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but it was just never something I got into. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, love that show. George Lopez, love it. I mean, Nick at Night kind of made me fall in love with all these shows. Again, I just didn't watch much Seinfeld. I'm sure it's great. Just didn't watch much of it. What was the other one that was like studio? Fuck The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
First 3 seasons, great.
Oh, great, yeah.
Then they made like 10 seasons that were unnecessary after that. Well, just the writing got too like they're trying to force that they're nerds. Yeah. And being nerd is funny, or being nerd is cool. Like it just felt like they were trying to shove as many pop culture references as they could in each episode, and it just bothered me. I'm like, we don't talk like that all the time. Like we're not like, yeah, see the new episode of The Boys, and then we just go home and listen to Star Wars music on the radio as loud as we can. Like we don't actually talk like that. I mean, we think about that stuff all the time, but we don't always talk about it like in every conversation. We do have other conversations. God damn it! I just had it on the tip of my freaking tongue. It was like one of those comedies that are old. Everybody Loves Raymond. Everybody Loves Raymond is an amazing. I'm sorry, is one of Home Improvement is still my favorite of those kinds of shows. Yeah, but Everybody Loves Raymond is a close number 2, and it's the father, Peter Boyle, the grandfather, but Raymond's father, his brother. Like it's the parents living across the street kind of thing. The funniest moments in that show kill me every time. I can't like. You just get this old man like yelling at his fucking wife like Marie, like basically just asking this girl to bring him food all the damn time, and like always treating her like shit, and like calling her ugly and stuff. And it's like, I mean, it's mean as shit, but it was kind of an updated version of what's that show like with All in the Family. All in the Family. Ooh, who had Archie Bunker. It's like, wasn't that the one where he's like, to the moon, Alice. like to the moon. Like I would like basically like he was saying he would hit her. It's really fucked up. Like you could not make this show anymore. There's a lot of shows back in the 70s where I'm like, there's like some episodes of All in the Family where I'm like, they like freak out because black people move next door or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know if you can make this episode anymore. Jesus, that's a little racy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite comedy?
Movie?
No, show. Since we're talking shows, I didn't mean to scream into the mic. It's weird when you have headphones on.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like I'm right in your ear.
My favorite comedy, like a show that I would laugh at like all the time if I watched it.
Yes. Let me guess yours.
All right.
Oh God. Let me guess.
Go for it. Go for it.
Please don't say Friends.
Nope.
Okay.
The other one.
The Office.
Nope.
The other one. What do you mean the other one? Friends, like.
How I Met Your Mother.
I never got into that one either.
How I Met Your Mother.
I never got into that one either.
I love How I Met Your Mother.
That was when I just started getting tired of the whole sitcom.
Barney is probably my favorite.
He's got great
character.
lines.
Yeah,
great lines. I will say that there are great moments in that show that I will actually. I've watched a handful of episodes for sure.
Yeah.
But his writing is pretty on point.
I love Friends. I'm basic like that.
There's a great. It's also great casting and writing that they would cast. Neil Patrick Harris, who is like is playing like a major stud who fucks every girl and everything, and he is like gay to the max in real life. That is great acting, great writing. Like I love it. Like he hosted the Tonys and went
a million times. It's so good.
Well,
He's so good.
Went off in that in the openings or whatever, but he's just a great actor. Like the fact that he can pull that off, and you like most people when they realized that Neil Patrick Harris was gay was like, what?
Yeah, well, I thought that too
because he's Barney. He's the ladies' man.
Yeah,
it'd be like figuring out Charlie Sheen was gay after like 2.5 Men and stuff, where he's just like banging a new chick every week or whatever. So yeah, it was great. There's some ones that are just they didn't get a long run. Like
that shows that needed a longer run to make them better.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the episodes that are out are good. It's like what was the one like Shoot Me or something? Don't shoot. Fuck! It was David Spade was in it. Now Joe Rogan was in one. It's called News Radio, which I actually really enjoyed. Let's see, David Spade sitcom. Just Shoot Me. Just Shoot Me. So it was about a high style magazine.
Okay.
And so like Just Shoot Me was also like a double entendre of like shooting the camera, like
Oh, never mind. I take it back. My favorite comedy because I just watched it. Community.
Oh, okay.
Community. I just watched it recently and it cracks me up every time. The 6th season wasn't great, but.
Rules of Engagement. That's another one. That David Spade was in that one too. I actually like that one a lot. David Spade and I think it was Patrick I can never say his freaking name. He's the one who played Kronk. Patrick Warburton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's some. I mean, well, I guess if you're gonna say favorite comedy, I guess I would put The Simpsons up there too, because The Simpsons.
Yeah.
When The Simpsons was The Simpsons, though, nothing was funnier.
No.
Just The Simpsons had such subtle, small jokes, and The Simpsons, like the way they made the show and drew it. There was like 8 jokes in the background.
Yeah, it was so
that
good.
You could find. Like it was they had the best artists, the best writers. I mean, Conan O'Brien was a writer on there at one point. Like it was like so genius, and just the little. I mean, it's hard to. What's funny is it's hard to name little jokes in The Simpsons, but as you're watching the episode, you can like sit there and quote it. But it's hard to just pull them out, like board license plates or just the itching and scratchy stuff or anything like that. Treehouse of Horror episodes, I would look forward to those every year. The Halloween episodes of The Simpsons, I would look forward to that shit every year. Yeah, comedy's so good. Well,
yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we've been going about for almost 2.5 hours, or 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That went by really fast.
Yeah, right.
Well, it felt like the first 30 minutes went by slow, but like I look over, And it's like only 30 minutes went by. I'm like, well, I want to get this thing to at least an hour. And
Yeah.
I felt like we had like talked our butts off about Star Wars. So I was
Yeah,
like,
we talked a lot about Star Wars. The first hour was for Star Wars.
but I was like, I went over and I was like, that's only like 30 minutes or whatnot. And I'm like, yikes, I hope we can
Yeah.
get this going.
No, we overshot that.
By a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done a... Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally, for some reason, just looked at the computer and literally just pressed stop. So, sorry about that. You're not going to hear any...
Yeah.
I'm
You guys
just
aren't
gonna-
going to
I'm
hear
just going to
anything.
clip it together. It's
Yeah.
just going to sound weird when you go, like, it gets... like to that. But, yeah, this might be the longest podcast we've done since, like,
Sick.
the original 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, guys, this was episode 19 of On Your Left.
19.
We're almost at 20 episodes. It's getting real
getting
up in
there.
here. I don't know what... basically, we just want to try to get this schedule under our belts for a couple weeks and see how we're feeling about it and see how easy it is. And if we can fit more stuff into that schedule, just it's recording wise too. If we can fit more stuff in there and expand the schedule, absolutely, I'm down for that. But we're just going to kind of see how this rolls because if at some point we can do 2 On Your Lefts a week, do like one Monday, one Friday, or whatever. I think we should keep the ranked battles to 1 a week for now. But if we can do 2 movie commentaries a week, we'll figure out how to work it. But like I said, we're just gonna kind of keep the schedule the way it is, get used to it, get it under our belts.
Yeah. And keep suggesting stuff, please.
Yeah, suggest stuff for the Ranked Battles podcast. If you got something for us to react to, because the stuff is slim right now.
Yeah.
We haven't recorded a reaction video in a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you have things that you would like us to react to, I don't care what it is, try not to laugh videos, edits, compilations, new shit. I don't care what it is. Like, just send it to us, and we'll look at it and see if it's something that we've been willing to react to. Just because content, reaction-wise, is getting slim with no trailers or anything really coming out right now. No movies coming out till next year, and even most of the movies that are coming out for next year, all the trailers have already come out for them.
Yeah.
They just got pushed.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get new trailers. We might get new trailers. But I don't know
Yeah.
if I want new trailers because I've already seen 2 or 3 of them at a time. So send us stuff, guys, and if you have ideas for anything on the podcast or movie commentaries, because even if we do series and we're doing, say we do Star Wars and Harry Potter at the same time, if you have a good idea for just the random movie commentary, which is something we really haven't done,
No.
the only random one I can think of is we did Batman vs Superman back right before Justice League came on, or what came in theaters. So that's like the only random one we've done. If you have a random idea for a movie commentary, something that isn't like, don't send us something that's like what's the word, like super deep cuts.
Yeah.
Need something that's somewhat in the general public's point of view, like they understand what we're watching. Like, don't send us like some like weird 1982 horror movie that nobody's ever seen before. Like, at least make it something that's semi-popular. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe,
so you don't miss a single thing from the channel. That's fine. No, it's always where I'm used to saying a subscribe.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. It was just the way but
Yeah.
I introed it, so I should say like first. So
Okay.
I don't. It's just weird. It's weird. Still getting used to stuff. And as always, guys, make sure you stay tuned
Stay iconic.
and cue music. That was horrid.
bad.
3, 2, 1. No. Why did I say 3, 2, 1? God. This is a great ending to a podcast, by the way. Stay tuned
Stay iconic.
and cue music.
Holy Grail.